The Spurs fell last night to the Dallas Mavericks 133 to 129. They were paced by Harrison Barnes 29 and Devin Vassell's 24. The Spurs have given up 274 points in their last two games. The Dallas Cowboys did make a move. They added Broncos running back Javonte Williams on a one-year, $3 million deal. I'm Rob Thompson for 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
From the studios of San Antonio Sports Star, reaching more sports fans than any station in South Texas. Welcome to the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson. This is 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Good morning, everybody. How we doing? Welcome in. It's the Morning Huddle on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. I'm AJ Hoffman, joined as always by the one and only Mr. Rob Thompson.
Thank you.
Yeah,
I'll be here all
baby.
week.
Good morning, Robert.
Good morning, sir. Ladies, gentlemen.
And on the other side of the
At
glass,
ease.
Slick
Carry on.
Victor Brown. Good morning,
Hola.
Vic.
I am here.
We got to see Vic's nipples this morning.
I did.
It's been
They
a
were-
capital morning.
They are very dark. very, very dark.
I'm
Chocolatey
Mexican,
almost.
so
I know.
there you go.
It's incredible.
Little milk chocolate orbs.
Yep. I always, like I said, I'm always curious. I never know until I
So now
know.
We've got one more thing off the old bucket list.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's
Died nearly happy.
You've all wondered. Now you know.
now you know the rest of the story.
Yeah.
That's what killed Paul Harvey is he found out the rest.
The rest of the story.
Couldn't
That's
go
right.
on.
There's nothing. There's what else? Now that we know this, what's the point of being here?
Seriously, once
What
you
am I
find
even
out
doing
All right,
here?
see you guys
meaning
later.
of life,
It's over.
you've reached that Zen moment, and you carry on to the next plateau, whatever that might be.
It's over, Johnny. Man, there's a lot going on in the world today.
Yes, sir.
Lot going on. There's a lot of football going on and a lot of basketball going on, both in the collegiate and pro annals. First, annals.
You said it.
Annals. We were supposed to go eat the crazy or the crabby. What was it called today?
What was
The
it?
Captain
Krabby?
Mr. Krabby.
It's kind of that, but I don't think it got close enough to SpongeBob. But it's like Krabby something, Queen Cat.
Krabby Jacks.
No, see, it wouldn't be
No.
that. Captain Krabby.
You said it earlier.
We did, but
No.
we're circling it right now. But I inadvertently scheduled some physical
Mr.
therapy.
Krabby's. I was
Mr.
right.
Krabby.
Oh, okay. Yeah, there you go. Mr. Krabby's.
And
Didn't sound right.
it sounded so. Well,
Rob's got it. He's
I
like,
gotta go see the doctor.
yeah, what the hell?
No,
You're-
but I'll be free. But it's just such a. I scheduled
Rob's
right in
doing
the middle.
physical
Well-
therapy for a surgery that he hasn't even had.
I know.
Well, he's got to get ready for
I
it.
got to get ready for it.
Yeah. But now that his wife knows about it, he has to go.
Well,
He
see, yeah,
can't
that
just
she's
put it off.
expecting receipts because this is something I could skate by and say I did.
Well, yeah, and like
Receipts.
just show up sweating from eat some real
It's
spicy
not that.
crab.
My wife
Oh, yeah.
knows that I'm just a doctor averse. That's why this is. I'm an paid
Just put an ace
endorser.
bandage all around your knee when you get home.
The reason that my relationship with Dr. Torres has been so successful is the guy understands my psyche, and it's hard to get me to the doctor. So he treats me like a coach would. Like he walks
Oh,
up and
yeah,
is like, I got to go. Let's just say I got to go. Between my wife and my doctor, if I don't go, my life is going to be hell. So.
All right. Well, fine.
I know, but the sad thing is, it's my thing's at 11. I'll be done by noon. I'll be limping by noon. I'll be in agony,
Yeah,
and then, but I would be free. But I'm not sure I'm going to want to eat anything.
I know, and then you're gonna be on the wrong side of town too.
Yeah, I will be. I'll be central, but it's just a matter of because I was really excited about a big bag of
I know. Steaming crustaceans and spice.
Oh, it was going to be so good.
I was excited too, and then you sent me a
beer.
text this morning. You're like, "Hey, man,
I know.
can you bring some shorts? Because you didn't." Now your wife's gonna be like, You didn't take your shorts. I know you didn't go to the doctor."
That's another thing. And as I thought of that, I thought, man, my wife, she just knows. She's mad at me because I didn't like what she cooked last night. So I think I'm trying to just get through to the next meal because Literally, the last words she said to me were about eating the food that I didn't eat last night. Like, don't forget you have leftovers.
All you need to do is say, that didn't agree with me.
That didn't.
I don't
territory.
I don't go for that.
I don't. My wife is a lovely woman and a fine cook, but every now and then we all throw a.
Everybody whiffs.
Yep. And I wasn't honest about the meal. I should have been more honest.
What's happening to your microphone?
I don't. It's
Joe
Reinagel,
Reinagel.
man. He has. And the thing is, he's not here that often. Those guys are always out on location, so he doesn't know how to handle our microphone. And
Look
he's
at it.
broken.
It's like
it's come loose because I guess they were trying to tighten it, but it won't tighten. It strips.
Yeah, it looks like a beaver's been chewing on it.
It does.
Like, what the hell's going on there?
We can't have nice things.
Oh my
These TV guys, they're used to
They
digital.
used to have lapel mics.
We're more analog. You know what I mean? We're a bucket of bolts and let's make do. And he's broken it. He's broken our fine new piece of equipment.
They always do that. The afternoon guys. The afternoon guys are microphone workers. They don't understand that, like, if you have some control of your face, you don't need to move the microphone around with you.
And they're used to wearing headphones. So and for some reason, Joe likes to. I think he thinks he's Elvis. He's performing with the mic in his hand, and every now and then, if you're watching the video, he'll just kneel down, making a point.
He's always palming it,
holding it like this. Which I always wondered if I was a performer, how I would hold. How would you hold the mic if you were a performer, a front man? Would you have the mic on a stand so you had like a prop, or would it be in your hand? Would you go Garth and have the fake mic where you can't quite
cordless?
see it? Would you use the mic as a prop? Would you have a big like diamond-studded mic, or would you have
what kind of music do I do?
I don't know. I guess it would kind of matter. Or
if I was a rock and roller, I would want a mic stand.
The mic stands
like Steven Tyler with a bunch
that's
of
exactly what I was thinking.
a bunch of stuff
I would
hanging
make
on
the
it.
mic stand
a bunch
prop.
of bandanas.
Yeah, I'd have something on there to do something with. I'd have to do that.
You bet you work it back and forth.
Yeah, you can do all kinds of phallic things with it. I mean, there's just stuff to do.
If I was a rapper, I would not have a mic stand. I would hold the mic like this with a pinky out.
Would you have like a glitter, like a gold mic?
No, it would be black.
Blacked out, just like your
Yeah,
standard mic.
man. Straight. I mean, it'd be darker than this. It'd be pure black.
If you were a country singer, would it just be the flesh-colored fake mic right there?
I don't know what I'd do if I have a
Garth
hard
Brooks look.
I have got a much easier time picturing myself as a gangster rapper than a country music artist, so I don't really know.
I'd have a microphone that looked like a pistol, like a gun.
Why?
I mean, then you got to answer to angry moms and
That's a bad message. Shut up.
It's like a gat right there, pointed right at my mouth.
I guess those country guys do usually do that headset thing.
Because they normally got a guitar in their hand.
Yeah, but I don't know how to play guitar.
No,
You
that
don't
doesn't
have
mean
to. Just
you really
hold it.
don't have to.
Oh yeah, I would just hold it.
Yeah. And then
Who's the best guitar player who doesn't look like they know how to play guitar? That's
John Mayer.
like
like
Ed Sheeran.
I can't. I could not
Can Ed
believe.
play?
I can't believe how good John Mayer is at playing guitar because he looks like he would not be good at playing guitar.
It's true.
He looks like an IT guy.
And
the other thing is,
he's so good at it. He's way better at playing guitar than singing.
If the camera would stop right at his neck, he's got bad face. He's got bad guitar face.
Yeah, but he's incredible.
No, he can wail, but bad guitar face.
Yeah, but he's the one. Like when I look at him, I'm like, that guy can't play guitar, and then no, he can.
Just because he's white.
Oh, well, no, I mean, like
Plays down. I mean, he lays some blues.
Jimmy Page is white, and
okay, there's two.
I mean, jeez.
You went back but Jimmy played rock. I was just talking about the blues.
Well, Eric Clapton's white.
There's three.
Okay.
Okay.
Jeez.
Stevie.
Yeah, come on, man.
I'm being facetious.
I don't need. It's very, very racist.
I wish I could play guitar.
Johnny Winter is white. I believe.
I was
Johnny
more of a
Winter
fan of Edgar's organ playing. Edgar looked like a Tolkien character.
And all the Allman Brothers are white as well.
And they're
so
frightening as well.
That's right. Yeah, I'm disappointed that our date is canceled now, but I'll fight through. Tomorrow I'm leaving after the show.
No.
I'm headed out. Rob's going to be not only in charge of my actual cat that lives in my apartment, but is also going to be in charge of the brood of strays.
Did you tell Big Nuts that it was me? Because Big Nuts, I got here before you this morning, and Big Nuts came running to me this morning. Like,
oh,
hey,
really?
bruh. Yeah, hello. And his running mate, the black one,
Yeah.
kind of held back in the bushes. And I came in to get the food, and then one of our suits was walking around early in the morning, and I lost.
You lost track of
what was going on.
Well,
But
I
you
gave
were
him
right
some
behind
food.
me.
Yeah,
Okay.
I gave him some food. I had a can ready to go in the car, and when I opened my car door, I'm in my brother's car right now because of my tire incident, and Big Ball's just. I opened the door and he just immediately jumped into my lap, and
Wow.
yeah, and
Well, he came running to me, so obviously he's hungry.
now I also noticed that he's gotten his ass whooped in the last 24 hours. Because I went to pet him, and he's got some more scratches on his ears. He's been
I think he might be on.
he's been brawling.
Well, I think. Have you ever seen two cats? Yeah, that might have been just a good night of lovemaking for a cat.
Usually the girl cats get that.
Well, he's not very big
No, but again,
because he didn't look wore out.
I don't think he can take because of the back end situation. There's no way for another. There's no way for him to be gay because
No,
one
I'm not saying that. I'm just seeing two cats, male and female, tussle a little bit before it actually goes down.
Maybe so. Maybe so.
He seems like more of a lover than a fighter
He does.
because he's just not big enough to go pick fights.
But I think he's got some scrap to him.
I think he does too.
Because when he eats like
Like he growls and stuff.
because he sees that black cat off to the side, and that black cat wants some of that food he's got, and he's like,
"You're not sharing,
bitch. Don't think about getting any of this."
Well, she's still there.
Yeah, she hangs around,
She's
but
with him.
she eats some scraps.
Now they will. All the cats, including those that might be coming tomorrow, will be well taken care
Okay.
of. We are stocked and ready, and
All right.
Blueberry as well will be well.
Well, Blueberry's unaware that I'm leaving yet.
Oh,
But
you'll see the suitcase, or she'll see the
Yeah,
suitcases tomorrow, and they'll be all right.
once I start packing up, she is going to be
He
pissed.
will not be happy. Like that dude's going to come over again. He's going to bang on the neighbor's door
Yep.
again, one more time.
I'm just going to put a sticker of a cat
Like
on
here,
my door.
Here, over on
it's
this
this
side.
one.
Yeah, this is the cat house. All right. You know what? Let me give something away right out of the chute. I'm going to reward the early morning listeners.
Yeah, we got four packs. Four.
Okay. Well, I'm going to give away 2 right now.
Okay.
4 packs to the home opener between the Gunslingers, the San Antonio Gunslingers, and the Tulsa Oilers. It's March 22nd, Freeman Coliseum. I got a family 4-pack for 2 of you. That adds up to 8. So if you win and your wife wins, and
Your whole family can
you've
go.
got 6 kids, you guys could all go. Or
One of y'all might play.
yeah, it's possible. It is possible.
Never know.
Tryouts were held, I remember. So let's go with callers 2 and 3. Right out of the chute. Look at us. We're making people happy right out of the gate.
Yeah.
We'll be back. It's the Morning Huddle 94.1.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star Traffic from News Talk 550 KTSA.
Good morning. Our heaviest delay is going to be in the Selma area, northeast side of town. Due to road work, 35 southbound Olympia Parkway to 1604. This road work has only the left lane getting by. That's a 40-minute delay. Has you slow from FM 3009. Northbound 35 at Judson, we're getting reports of an accident. Downtown 35 upper level, southbound approaching Alamo. That's a stall left lane. And I-10 eastbound 1604, disabled vehicle blocking the median. 1604 eastbound, look out to 35, still closed with road work. I'm Debbie Alcacer, KTSA Time Saver Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Rapid Radio.
Rapid Radios are instant push-to-talk walkie-talkies offering national LTE coverage and no subscription ever. Perfect for instant contact with an aging parent. For a limited time, go to rapidradios.com and you'll get an extra 60% off, free UPS shipping, and add code RADIO for an extra 5% off.
Hi, I'm attorney Steve Benke. If you've made the decision to divorce, you need an experienced attorney who can help. I've helped many people get through divorce, custody, child support, and alimony problems. Call me. I'm attorney Steve Benke.
210-DIVORCE or go to BenkeLaw.com.
Welcome to AT&T. How can I help?
Hey, I thought I could trust my twins with my phone, but they outnumber me, man.
Whoa, that's a lot of glitter paint. Let's trade
Lives?
At AT&T, everyone can trade in an old or glittered iPhone, any year, any condition, and save on a new iPhone. Ask how to get iPhone 16 Pro on us. New and existing customers. Savings vary by device and trade-in combinations. Restrictions apply. See att.com for details. AT&T. Connecting changes everything.
Some people people just know they could save hundreds on car insurance by checking Allstate first at 888-ALLSTATE or allstate.com. Like, to check you have gas first before road tripping through the desert.
Empty? Seriously? Maybe I can walk.
Yeah, checking first is smart. So if you want to save money, check Allstate first at 888-ALLSTATE or allstate.com.
Maybe I can't.
You're in good hands with Allstate.
Savings vary. Terms apply. Allstate Fire and Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
With Progressive, it's easy to reach customer service with our app, website, chat, or by phone. Because when getting help is hard, it's not help at all.
Little help. A little help over here. Thank you for calling Bench Press Assistance. What? Due to excessive gym volume, all available spotters are currently lifting heavy weights off the chests of other bench pressers. Seriously? Please continue to hold, and we will remove the barbell from your chest in the order in which your cry for help was received.
Getting assistance should be easy. With Progressive, it is. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates.
Oh, could this vintage store be any cuter?
Right? And the best part? They accept Discover.
Accept Discover? In a little place like this? I don't think so, Jennifer.
Oh, yeah, huh? Discover's accepted where I like to shop. Come on, baby, get with the times.
Right, so we shouldn't get the parachute pants?
These are making a comeback. I think.
Discover is accepted at 99% of places that take credit cards nationwide. Based on the February 2024 Nielsen report.
The best mornings
in the morning light.
Start with Wrangler.
I pull on my jeans and I feel alright.
Jeans, jackets, and shirts that get your day started. Good mornings make for better days. Wrangler, for the ride of life.
Still getting around to that fix on your car? You got this. On eBay, you'll find millions of parts guaranteed to fit. Doesn't matter if it's a major engine repair or your first time swapping your windshield wipers. eBay has that part you need, ready to click perfectly into place for changes big and small. Loud or quiet, find all the parts you need at prices you'll love. Guaranteed to fit every time. But you already know that. eBay. Things, people, love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Imagine finding your dream home and moving in right away. No waiting to sell your old place first. Sounds perfect, right? That's exactly what Orchard's Move First, Sell Later program lets you do. Buy your new home now and sell the old one later. Jason Minix here from The Blitz. That's exactly what I did. Here's how it works. Orchard gives you cash so you can buy and move into your new home first on your timeline. No waiting, no showings, no double moves. Then the Orchard experts take it from there. They handle repairs on your old home and make price-boosting upgrades. Once they're done, a local Orchard agent lists and sells your home for top dollar. Orchard's Move First program gives you the freedom to buy and move into your new home first and sell your old home later. Buy before you sell and get top dollar for your home with Orchard. Ready to find out how much your home is worth? Visit Orchard.com to get your free home evaluation. That's Orchard.com.
Guys, if you ever spend time on social media, you'll often find yourself just being hit with bad news and worse comments, and you'll see how everybody's life is so picture perfect, and they've got this great job promotion, and you're wondering, man, where am I? It's hard not to get wrapped up in how everyone else is doing. Imagine how you'd feel if you just spent 45 minutes focused on how you're doing. That's what they're about at Cerebral. They make it easier than ever to access dedicated therapists and doctor-prescribed medication personalized to you. And the best part, Cerebral offers in-network care so you can focus on feeling better without worrying about the cost. If you're dealing with stress, anxiety, you want to be more present and focused, you want to sleep better, you want to have better relationships, you've got to work on yourself. Cerebral is proud to be an official sponsor of the San Antonio Spurs. Just like athletes prioritize their physical health, mental health is just as important, and Cerebral's here to help you build a strong foundation for your overall being. So take the first step today. Visit Cerebral.com to see how affordable and accessible mental health care can be with insurance. Cerebral, make time for mind time.
It's The Blitz with Jason and Joe. Afternoons at 2.
Coming up on The Blitz, the NFL free agent frenzy continues. How about those Cowboys? What are they thinking?
Well, crickets, and we'll talk crickets with Shireen Williams. She'll join us at 5:15.
And the Texans, how do they rework that offensive line?
The Blitz starts at 2.
The Blitz with Jason and Joe. Afternoons at 2 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. You're listening to the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson.
Alrighty. Let's start with the NFL. Free agency, baby. It is time. It is that time of year.
Boy, it was busy.
Boy, was it, man. It's popping early. And I guess let's start in the great state of Texas, where the big news it came for the Houston Texans. Laremy Tunsil, who is a multi-time,
5-time Pro Bowl.
Yeah, this is now he's not what he was, but here's what I'll say. I did some kicking around on this yesterday because I had a hard time parsing this trade. The Texans give up Laremy Tunsil and a 4th-round pick this year. In exchange, the Texans get a 3rd-round pick, a 7th-round pick this year, and a 2nd and a 4th next year.
It's not quite Herschel, but it's a pretty good haul.
It's a good haul.
I mean, if they do this right, it is a force multiplier if they do this right.
Now, I saw a Texans fan sort of like, yeah, we didn't need him anyway. He's a walking penalty, and you're right. You know what? The penalties were egregious last year. He's really bad about that. That said, he is the only guy on that team who could pass protect. And he is still I don't think he's any longer like the elite of pass protectors, but he had 93% pass block win rate last year.
He's an elite left tackle.
Yeah.
That's not dance around effect. Penalties be damned. He's an elite left tackle, and they got what he was worth.
The last 3 seasons, he's either had a 92 or 93% pass block win rate. He has played 48 games in the last 3 seasons.
See, that's one of the issues.
No,
I guess that's true. He hadn't been, but it's the seasons before where he spent some time on the bench.
But here's the thing. Again, if the Texans had to go into this offseason thinking one of our priorities has to be offensive line, and whatever you think about the penalties, he was still the best offensive lineman you had, and the Texans move on from him, leaving yet another hole on that line. You've got guys in-house, namely Titus Howard, who I think has to be at this point looked at more like a guard than a tackle, because he's just not good enough to play at a tackle, an NFL left tackle level. And then Blake Fisher, who graded 114 out of 141 in PFF last year for tackles that had hit the mandatory amount of snaps. Neither one of them, you can't feel good about either one of them playing left tackle. So my guess is that Houston trades up and tries to get a cornerstone guy and then addresses the rest through free agency. But I was like, why would they trade Tunsil? And then I started to think about D'Amico and what his philosophies are. And D'Amico is, more than anything, he is a culture guy. And it's almost kind of like we think of Mike Tomlin. Mike Tomlin is a culture coach. There's a handful of guys who are culture coaches more than they're X and O's coaches.
Pop?
Yeah.
There's no bigger culture coach on the planet than Pop.
I think that D'Amico looked at his offensive line room and said, we're about to have a hard reset in here. And I think from a personality standpoint, he didn't love the idea of Laremy Tunsil being the leader in that room, which he would have been. And I think there's questions about his work ethic and what kind of influence he would have on younger players. So I think D'Amico said, I'm going to make a culture move and move on from this guy.
Well, and I think about the trading up and finding a guy to replace him for a lot less money, I think played into this too. I think there's a money aspect to an expensive left tackle that isn't one of the greats that's on his way back. But this isn't – if I am any skill position dude this morning, especially those that are involved in the pass game, I don't wake up excited this morning that Laremy Tunsil's gone.
No.
I mean, I'm not happy.
I'm C.J. Stroud.
Stroud is probably the most angry, but everybody involved. This did not help the offense today. Now, in the long run, you hope that the moves are made correctly and they draft appropriately and they overcome. But apart from quarterback, man, the search is constant for left tackle. So you have to play this absolutely right. This is a bold move to do this. And I do agree with the culture. I think that's 99% of it. I'd say 90%. I do think 10% is pay. But it's back to the culture thing. When the Spurs drafted David Robinson way back when, one of the better players on this team was a guy named Frank Brakowski.
Nice.
An average basketball player, but
How dare you?
But I mean, a decent baller, not a great one, but one who paid very close attention to his stats and his contract and all of those kind of things. And the moment David arrived, the powers that be realized we can't have David Robinson associated with a guy like Brick. He's just a locker room lawyer, as they used to call it. Just one of those guys that he just doesn't really fit the culture that we're trying to take a guy like David Robinson down a different path. So they got rid of Brick, and it was a net negative. They got rid of talent because of the situation, but for the long-term culture of the team, those that were involved, it felt like it had to be done. And so I get the culture move. If everybody's on the same page and you're all headed in the same direction, you can do this kind of stuff. But you don't excise a left tackle of that kind of merit without some return. And if you don't have the return, that's one of those first career-limiting moves without a left tackle.
I remember Frank Brakowski, one of the craziest things about Frank Brakowski, this was probably after he was on the Spurs. He had a ranch in Montana.
Yeah.
And they found him with an ounce of marijuana and arrested him for it.
Yeah.
And he had to go, like, drug counseling. Like, think about that. And it was in his house. He had an ounce of marijuana in his house on a ranch in Montana in the middle of nowhere. And they arrested him and made him go to drug treatment. It's like, what? Imagine that now. You're talking about the early 90s, but I digress.
Poor Frank. Well, that kind of fits the narrative, right? They just good baller, good guy, but I can't have you messing with the golden child. And C.J. Stroud is indeed the golden child, and I'm sure there's some others coming down the pike. And they got their value, man. It wasn't like Washington paid for it.
They did. But you know what? Speaking of Washington, on the other side of this trade, remember last year when Jerry said all in?
Like, yeah, this is what all in looks like.
This is what all in looks like. The Commanders are so serious about taking the next step. I give them a ton of credit, man. They are going for it, and this is, again, C.J. Stroud, who's 1 year ahead of Jaden Daniels. This is Jaden Daniels, like, taking from them, like, one of the things that C.J. needs. And now you're talking about they re-signed John Bates, Zach Ertz, Bobby Wagner. They signed Javon Kinlaw. They traded for Deebo Samuel. They traded for Laramie Tunsil. This was right when the league, it's just started. The new league year has just begun, and they've already done all these things. The Commanders are quickly, like, establishing themselves as a contender next year because they're actually all in. And I give them a lot of credit, man. You got to respect it, because they could look at it and go, well, we had a good year, but we'll see how it looks next year. We'll see if it's sustainable. They're like, oh no, we're going to sustain this.
Well, that's the manual now. You got to do it. You got 3 years. You got 3 years to go get everybody in place for a 4-year, maybe 5-year title run.
Yeah, and they're doing it. So kudos to them. And suddenly it feels like the Cowboys are the de facto third best team in this division. I know they were last year, but as we know where the Eagles stand, and the Commanders look like they ain't looking to give up the second spot in this division anytime soon. But good news, Cowboy fan,
but Sam,
you are better than the Giants.
The quality of that running back room now?
Well,
slow down.
Let's talk about that on the other side. The Cowboys did make a move. We'll talk about that. It's the Morning Huddle 94.1.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star Traffic from News Talk 550 KTSA.
Good morning. Our heaviest delay is going to be in the Selma area, northeast side of town. Due to road work, 35 southbound Olympia Parkway to 1604. This road work has only the left lane getting by. That's a 40-minute delay. Has you slow from FM 3009. Northbound 35 at Judson. We're getting reports of an accident. Downtown 35 upper level. Southbound approaching Alamo. That's a stall left lane. And I-10 eastbound 1604 disabled vehicle blocking the median. 1604 eastbound. Look out to 35. Still closed with road work. I'm Debbie Alcacer, KTSA Time Saver Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Lowe's. At Lowe's, members get more every day. Shop weekly member-only deals and earn points on eligible purchases. Join for free today. Points are awarded on eligible purchases. Program subject to terms and conditions. Details at lowes.com/terms, subject to change.
From a fender bender to a total loss, Davis Law Firm has a team of expert attorneys ready to get you back on the road with the verdict or settlement you deserve. Y hablamos español. Want more? Call the Fours. Davis Law Firm, San Antonio, 444-4444.
Methodist Care Now Urgent Care has 18 locations throughout San Antonio, open 7 days a week. From injuries and illnesses to school and sports physicals, Care Now Urgent Care is here to help you feel better fast. Find a location near you at carenow.com and use our convenient web check-in today.
Flight by Yingling. It's the next generation of light beer. For those who don't follow trends, but craft them. Flight by Yingling is 12 ounces of uncompromised refreshment from America's oldest brewery. With only 2.6 grams of carbs and 95 calories, this is premium refreshment 6 generations in the making. Don't just raise a glass, raise the bar. Flight by Yingling. Available wherever beer is sold. DG Yingling and Son Incorporated, Pottsville, Pennsylvania. Please enjoy responsibly.
With basketball season in full swing, make watching the game a little bit more exciting with your chance to win money with Underdog, one of the leading sports apps, and you can play in Texas. You could win up to 1,000 times your money with Underdog, playing the pick'em game where you pick higher or lower on predicted stats. You can play with as little as $1, and if you get everything right on your pick'em entry, you could win up to 1,000 times your money. Yep, turn $1 into 1,000 with your hoops knowledge. Download the Underdog app and sign up using my promo code STAR to unlock a special offer of up to $1,000 in bonus cash when you make your first deposit. Must be 18 plus, 19 plus in Alabama and Nebraska, 19 plus in Colorado for some games, 21 plus in Arizona and Massachusetts, and present in a state where Underdog Fantasy operates. Terms apply. Void in Colorado. Concerned with your play? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit ncpgambling.org. In Arizona, call 1-800-NEXT-STEP or text NEXT STEP to 53342. In New York, call the 24/7 Hope line at 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY.
Nigel, what are you doing with all this stuff in the break room? It looks like a farmer's market in here.
I'm changing my eating habits, embracing good quality nutrition with fresh produce.
Folks, maintaining a healthy AC system is just like maintaining a healthy diet. Let's make sure your system is clean and efficient. Nigel, that's a pretty impressive healthy salad you've assembled.
Thanks, Joel. Now step back. The grease is hot.
Grease?
Quarter Moon Plumbing, Heat, and AC, 210-651-5899. License number TACLA 141074E and 16004.
Let's go! Hi, it's Jason Minix. You're listening to the home of the Cowboys, 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Morning Huddle. Congratulations, Vince Trevino and Charlie Elizondo. Yeah, baby. The Dallas Cowboys making it happen, Captain. I mean, what can you say? They are being incredibly, selectively aggressive as the Cowboys agree to a one-year deal with Javonte Williams. Now, I'm not mad at this. This feels like a move that kicks the running back can down the road for another year. This doesn't feel like you've got your long-term solution at running back here, especially you sign him to a one-year deal. It seems like you're not even really considering the possibility of it being a long-term move. But
you got to earn it.
It's something that is now it's a box checked. And you got a guy who, I mean, Do I think that he's going to be – I don't know that he can carry a load, but I don't think the Cowboys are really asking him to carry a load.
Well, you think about what Shoddy's offense will look like, and I imagine their plan, he fits that scheme. No, this is knock anything out of the park, but as you just said, it checks the box. They didn't spend much money. All right, next thing.
Yeah. So we'll see what that next thing is. But this is the kind of move that hopefully will prevent them from reaching on a running back in the draft.
No, I think they're still going to get – you're right. And I think they're reading the tea leaves.
No,
they're not going to get one in the first round.
That's my point.
Yeah.
I don't – you take one at round 3 through 7, I don't even care. But you don't take a running back at 12 when you've got the problems with this roster.
Well, I think they would have if they felt like their dude, whoever that dude is, you assume it's Boise State.
Yeah.
But it might not have been because the latest is that even North Carolina kid will be gone. So it hedges their bets. I still bet if one of those two is there, they'll give it a second thought. But I think that they'll safely be able to land at a place that'll be a bit more need. But I think it's more about they're not thinking that guy's going to be there for them.
Now, Javonte Williams he's only 25 or about to be 25, so he's still got some
Tell
life
me about him. My memory of him is he's a little undersized, quick, can take contact, but not big enough to really move the pile.
He is very low to the ground.
Yeah.
He was the leading rusher for the Broncos last year, but that's 513 yards. You know, it wasn't a run-heavy offense.
Yeah.
But the problem is he had a knee. He was really good when he came out, had a knee injury his second year, 2022, and has not quite been the same since. I guess the thought is another year removed, maybe he's able to. And again, I'm guessing that he is by no means the only part of this running back. There will be someone added to help carry the load because he's not an every down type of guy. But you avoid overpaying for Rico Dowdle, which it seems like somebody's going to pay Rico Dowdle like some serious running back
more
money.
than 3. I can tell you that.
And I hope it prevents you from overdrafting a running back, which are two good things for the Cowboys in my opinion.
Keep that hope alive. Keep that hope alive.
Yeah, well, I don't know. So last year, 3.7 yards per carry for Javonte. But again, this is a guy who was former first-round pick. You know, they're still looking at him like, oh, maybe he's got a little bit of that left in him. It's all a matter of how that knee, if he ever returns back to that. Typically they don't, but again, I don't think they're asking him to be prime Zeke Elliott.
I think I'm speaking for most Cowboys fans. At least they did something.
They did something.
You did something, and it was appropriate. You didn't spend much. You reinforced a position of need. You didn't knock it out of the park, but you did acceptable work. Carry on.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna high five you. I mean, you just did the most basic thing you could have done, which is more than you did before. But so carry on about your day and continue the diligent work because your selective aggression. I hope this wasn't it.
I saw something, and you can probably tell me if this is true or not. The thing I saw, and I didn't research it, I just saw it and said, that's crazy, and I believed it because I'm an idiot, and I believe everything I see on the internet. But it said the last time the Cowboys signed a free agent that wasn't one of their own for more than $6 million a year was Greg Hardy in 2015.
That sounds
Could
about
that
right.
be true?
That sounds about right.
Isn't that crazy?
Well, I mean, it isn't when you look at their record. I mean, when you look at the sum total of the events since 2015, no, it makes a lot of sense. I mean, if you're not actively acquiring talent at every opportunity, you're going to look a lot like the Cowboys. If you are relying solely on being built, not bought, you're going to look like the Cowboys.
I think the Cowboys, and this, I don't know how to put this. I don't want to. I mean, it kind of is for the Jones family. It's a little bit like their fantasy football team, and when you have a fantasy football team, without question, I believe this. You value the players on your fantasy team usually more than the other players in your league value those players.
I think anybody who plays fantasy football shares the same commitment to their guys that a general manager does.
Yeah.
You get lost in your own myopic belief in these things. That's why you need to surround yourself with people that are level-headed or at least have a broader view than you bring. I appreciate your passion, but my gosh, let somebody else tell you, no, man, you're too in on this.
Some new blood from the outside could be a good thing for this organization.
Isn't that horrifying that the last dude they paid of any merit was, first of all, let's look about what went on off the field, but it was a defensive lineman?
Yeah. It's wild. Yeah, Greg Hardy. Greg Hardy, not the best guy.
Not a good guy, but, ended up getting karmic. He got his karmic just desserts. He got his ass kicked over and over in the MMA kind of stuff, so good for him. And
then he did the bare-knuckle boxing after the UFC cut him, and he just got lamped. It made me so
whooped
happy.
by real tough guys.
Yeah. I wanted Greg Hardy to – I was like praying every time he fought that he was going to get beat up real bad.
Of all the guys I've ever covered, he's one of the more intimidating cats. I mean, when you're standing next to him and you're asking him questions about guns on a couch, the flex was there, man. I stood out of punch distance.
Yeah.
I mean, he's a big old scary dude. He got spookity eyes.
He's a scary man, but getting less scary every time I see him.
Yeah, but 2015.
It's the last time the Cowboys. Again, I have done no research on this.
No, if you do the math, it makes
finding
sense.
a meme, and that was enough to sell me that this is the real deal. Let's do this. Let's hit a break, and when we come back, we will talk about the move that the Minnesota Vikings made. Well, I say the Minnesota Vikings, the Seattle Seahawks made in getting a Minnesota Viking into the fold. We'll talk about that next. It's the Morning Huddle on 94.1.
Ready for the ultimate sports fan getaway? 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star is headed to Vegas, and we're bringing you along. Why? Because watching the games from your couch in sweatpants just isn't the same. Join Jason and Joe from The Blitz for a Mega March weekend you'll never forget or possibly remember. We're talking Vegas here. March 27th through the 30th, we're hitting up Circa Las Vegas for opening day. And the second weekend of the tournament, a.k.a. Sports Heaven, baby. Thursday, March 27th, the party starts with baseball's opening day at the world's largest sports book. That's right, big screens, big games, and big opinions from Jason and Joe. It's basically like watching sports at home, but with no chores and way more pools. Speaking of pools, dive into 6 of them at Stadium Swim and catch all the action on a 143-foot screen. Lock in now. Go to CircaLasVegas.com. Use promo code BLITZ and party with Jason and Joe at Circa Resort and Casino. Sports, pools, Vegas. What could possibly go wrong?
The Valero Texas Open is a can't-miss event. Here's your chance to enjoy food, drinks, and the world's best PGA Tour pros as they tee it up at TPC San Antonio. You won't want to miss the next defining, unexpected, and winning moments at the Valero Texas Open. Proceeds help us continue a long-standing tradition of giving back to our community. Buy tickets on ValeroTexasOpen.com and join us April 3rd through the 6th.
As a fan, you know all the important sports cliches. And when you save money by bundling your home and auto with Progressive, you can get out there and give it 110%, even though that's mathematically impossible. And remember, failure is not an option. Well, it's always an option, just not a good one. But you're not worried because you've got ice in your veins. You're on fire. How can both of those things be true at the same time? Well, that's between you and your doctor. So get out there and leave it all on the field. Leave what? Who cares? Just leave it and save with a bundle from Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
Imagine finding your dream home and moving in right away. No waiting to sell your old place first. Sounds perfect, right? That's exactly what Orchard's Move First, Sell Later program lets you do. Buy your new home now and sell the old one later. Jason Minix here from The Blitz. That's exactly what I did. Here's how it works. Orchard gives you cash so you can buy and move into your new home first on your timeline. No waiting, no showings, no double moves. Then the Orchard experts take it from there. They handle repairs on your old home and make price-boosting upgrades. Once they're done, a local Orchard agent lists and sells your home for top dollar. Orchard's Move First program gives you the freedom to buy and move into your new home first and sell your old home later. Buy before you sell and get top dollar for your home with Orchard. Ready to to find out how much your home is worth, visit Orchard.com to get your free home evaluation. That's Orchard.com.
Twin Peaks is the best in the game. Here, it's bigger game days and bolder fight nights. I mean, where else can you find a scratch kitchen that always comes in clutch? Every day, from lunch to late night. Only at Twin Peaks, the #1 sports bar.
We're honoring the pursuit of brews and barrel-aged bourbon every Friday at our Bourbon and Brews Party. Head over to Twin Peaks Fridays from 5 to 7 and experience a lingerie costume party paired with exceptional bourbons, tastings, and giveaways. Cheers!
Mellow Mushroom has the best pizza in San Antonio. Mellow delivers the best pizza experience with their delicious dough, premium ingredients, and unique flavors. Delivering a higher order of pizza is the standard. If Mellow can make a pizza this delicious, imagine what they can do with munchies, greens, calzones, and burgers. Mellow Mushroom has San Antonio's best happy hour with food specials and half-off adult beverages. Mellow Mushroom is at 1604 in Stone Oak Parkway. Hang with friends, watch the game, and mellow out at Mellow Mushroom.
The moment you find out you're pregnant can be very exciting. Knowing what to do and how to get started can also be overwhelming. Healthy Start is here to help you know what to expect. You should see your doctor in the first trimester to reduce the risk of a premature birth and for a healthy pregnancy. Healthy Start is a free program that offers support and resources while you're pregnant and for your baby's first 2 years of life. For more information, call us at 210-207-4725. Get the help you need to give your baby a healthy start.
Fabric Talk. Hello, my love. I am your living room carpet. I see everything. I feel everything. After a while, I smell like everything, including Sir Pickles, who you snuggle with while binging that dating show you can't stop watching. So, how about we freshen things up with Febreze Fabric Spray? Oh, and a big spray for my pals, couch and ottoman. Ah, yes, refreshing. Breathe happy, Febreze. La 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 la.
If you get arrested, get out of jail fast by calling AA Best Bail Bonds, 210-225-2121. Text bail to 474747 or online at mybestbailbonds.com. You don't have to call attorneys or anybody else. Don't be forced into a PR bond. If the jail offers you one, make sure you understand the conditions before accepting it. AA Best Bail Bonds. Nobody beats their price. They have payment plans. Call 210-225-2121 or mybestbailbonds.com.
License number 149.
I juggle a lot. And managing constipation with belly pain from my irritable bowel syndrome with constipation, or IBS-C, with laxatives and fiber isn't enough. My doctor recommended a way to get ahead of it. Then I said yes to Linzess.
Linzess linaclotide is a prescription medicine that treats IBS-C in adults. It's not a laxative. It's a once-daily pill that helps you get ahead of your symptoms. It's proven to help you have more frequent and complete bowel movements and helps relieve overall abdominal symptoms, belly pain, discomfort, and bloating. These symptoms were studied in combination, not individually. Do not give Linzess to children less than 2. It may harm them. Do not take Linzess if you have a bowel blockage. Get immediate help if you develop unusual or severe stomach pain, especially with bloody or black stools. The most common side effect is diarrhea, sometimes severe. If it's severe, stop taking Linzess and call your doctor right away. Other side effects include gas, stomach area pain, and swelling. Talk to your doctor and learn more at linzess.com or call 1-800-LINZESS.
It's the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
Morning Huddle, 94.1.
Have you ever had Vegemite?
No. Can't say that I have. I'm not opposed to trying
Evidently,
it.
you can have it for breakfast.
What is that?
Vegemite. It's some kind of Australian spread. I don't know.
Is it kind of like, I think it's like a hazelnut spread, isn't it?
I,
kinda
honest
like
to God, have no idea, but Vegemite sounds just about as bad as it could possibly be.
Sounds like a different type of
So-
termite.
well, like Soylent Green is people. Vegemite is kangaroo.
It is, it's made from leftover brewer's yeast.
Well, that sounds good.
With various vegetable and spice additives.
Interesting.
I don't know. I don't know what it tastes like.
It's kangaroo. It's Ruth. It's Ruthie.
Yeah.
So it's not even. It's brewer's yeast. I thought it was some sort of ground up vegetables.
The strong, savory flavor of Vegemite is quite different from what most Americans are accustomed to, making it a challenging sell.
Anytime a food is described as challenging.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't want to.
Yikes.
Anyway. The other note of the Cowboys was Jordan Lewis gone to Jacksonville.
Fairly well.
I kind of expected that. I didn't expect Jacksonville, but I expected Jordan Lewis not to be back with the Cowboys. They do add, or they re-sign, in the secondary, C.J. Goodwin, and Marquise Bell. So they are keeping around some of their.
Bell was a bit of a surprise.
But yeah, Jordan Lewis, the only departure so far, the only outside addition. Javonte Williams. I'm guessing that's not the last of it, but that's where we're at now.
We're still talking selective aggression. There better be an offensive lineman in there somewhere.
I think the biggest splash on day one came from the Seattle Seahawks, where this is a team so far that had seen DK Metcalf go out the door to the Steelers, Tyler Lockett be released, Geno Smith go out the door to the Raiders. And we're thinking, man, it's going to look a lot different in Seattle. And they started off by saying, Sam Darnold, you're our guy. Sam Darnold is now the franchise quarterback of the Seattle Seahawks.
Now, before you go any further, on just the when you first heard that it happened, like it's done, he's going, you saw the money, what'd you think? I mean, right off the bat.
I'm like, yeah, it sounds about right. I expected this. I told you as soon as Geno Smith was gone, right. I said they're going for Sam Darnold. Is
this a good move, bad move, fare thee well? I mean, I don't know what to parse of this move. I told you when I walked in, this very much reminds me of Seattle way back when they paid Matt Flynn from Green Bay and they accidentally fell ass backwards into Russell Wilson.
Yeah, and I'm sure they're hoping they'll fall ass backwards into someone again.
And I feel like Darnold's had that kind of luck where that actually might happen.
Yeah, it's really tough to decide. Do you think that last season was a one-time flash-in-the-pan thing for Sam Darnold? It's entirely possible.
Well, because my last vision of him was for 2 consecutive weeks.
Just being dreadful. No, you're right.
Getting curb stomped. So I feel like my last view of Sam Darnold is the real Sam Darnold.
Now, the other thing to consider is, and I don't know if he's looked at this way anymore, but Sam Howell is the backup there in Seattle.
The Carolina quarterback?
Yeah, former North Carolina quarterback. And he is a guy that a lot of people liked coming out of college. Obviously hasn't quite made it happen yet, but maybe the hope is that maybe that Sam Howell and Sam Darnold compete. I don't know.
But no, they're paying him to be a starter. But let's think about where you find yourself. This is Darnold landing as they have exited their primary wide receiver. He's got a good running back behind him. K9's pretty decent.
Yeah, and Charbonnet, too. They've got 2 good running backs.
That's right. They got a tandem of running backs. They have no interior offensive line. I mean, Geno was running for his life, and that's not a good situation. They're down a wide receiver, but they still got a
They're
good
down 2 wide receivers.
Well, 2, but they've still got a young
Jackson Smith and Jig was still very good, who was their number 1 last year.
So he has downgraded in talent around him. It's not the same as the Vikings.
Yeah, you're right.
And that alone scares the fool out of
And it should.
My gosh. And they got him for the right amount. They didn't overpay for him. This is an easy contract for a quarterback in the NFL. It's not a bad one. 52 guaranteed. Shoot. Dak makes that in a year. You know what I mean? Shoot. That's easy money. So they're not overpaying for him. But this just doesn't – it feels like Seattle's trying to do what the Spurs tried to do until they got Wemby, was change the tires doing 50 miles an hour. Trying to maintain mediocrity without falling into the dregs never works. And it feels like we're going to hold on. We're going to barely pay our quarterback, but we're kind of resetting here.
Well, I think part of it is that Mike McDonald is going to be a defensive coach. And I think they're going to have a pretty run-heavy approach.
Looks like it.
And focus on that defense.
If that's it, it'll work.
That's if you're getting Sam Darnold, you don't want him to have to be Patrick Mahomes. You want to be able to have something else working for you. My guess is that's their plan. We'll keep talking NFL free agency. We'll talk about everybody's moves. It's the Morning Huddle 94.1.
Riding the work with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson. It's the Morning Huddle, KTFM Floresville.
This report is sponsored by eBay. We all got a thing. Yes, even you. If you love fashion, car parts, trading cards, whatever you're into, it's on eBay. So go find the thing that keeps you up at night. eBay. Things people love.
At Round Table Pizza, our signature ingredients like made-from-scratch dough, our 3-cheese blend, and toppings all the way to the edge create your perfect pizza. Try our new pepperoni, grilled chicken, and bacon pizza, available for a limited time. You can enjoy a large for only $19.99 at participating locations. Plus, pair your pizza with our irresistible shareables. To find your nearest location or to order for pickup or delivery, head to roundtablepizza.com. That's roundtablepizza.com.
Welcome to AT&T. How can I help?
Hey, I thought I could trust my twins with my phone, but they outnumber me, man.
Whoa, that's a lot of glitter paint. Let's trade
lives.
At AT&T, everyone can trade in an old or glittered iPhone, any year, any condition, and save on a new iPhone. Ask how to get iPhone 16 Pro on us. New and existing customers. Savings vary by device and trade-in combinations. Restrictions apply. See att.com for details. AT&T. Connecting changes everything.
Guys, if you ever spend time on social media, you'll often find yourself just being hit with bad news and worse comments, and you'll see how everybody's life is so picture perfect, and they've got this great job promotion, and you're wondering, man, where am I? It's hard not to get wrapped up in how everyone else is doing. Imagine how you'd feel if you just spent 45 minutes focused on how you're doing. That's what they're about at Cerebral. They make it easier than ever to access dedicated therapists and doctor-prescribed medication personalized to you. And the best part, Cerebral offers in-network care so you can focus on feeling better without worrying about the cost. If you're dealing with stress, anxiety, you want to be more present and focused, you want to sleep better, you want to have better relationships, you've got to work on yourself. Cerebral is proud to be an official sponsor of the San Antonio Spurs. Just like athletes prioritize their physical health, mental health is just as important, and Cerebral's here to help you build a strong foundation for your overall being. So take the first step today. Visit Cerebral.com to see how affordable and accessible mental health care can be with insurance. Cerebral, make time for mind time.
Flight by Yingling. It's the next generation of light beer. For those who don't follow trends, but craft them. Flight by Yingling is 12 ounces of uncompromised refreshment from America's oldest brewery. With only 2.6 grams of carbs and 95 calories, this is premium refreshment 6 generations in the making. Don't just raise a glass, raise the bar. Flight by Yingling. Available wherever beer is sold. DG Yingling & Son Incorporated, Pottsville, Pennsylvania. Please enjoy responsibly.
You ever try fixing your car and realize you're missing that one part? Yeah, been there. That's why eBay's my go-to. They've got millions of parts, guaranteed to fit. I'm talking brake pads for when yours have seen one too many miles of stop and go. Oil filters, because you don't mess around with your engine care. Even got this cold air intake on my watch list. I might just go for it. To keep the ride cool and your DIY streak hot. Find all the parts you need at prices you'll love. Guaranteed to fit every time. eBay. Things people love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Texting privacy policy and terms and conditions posted at textplan.us. Texting enrolls for recurring automated text marketing messages. Message and data rates may apply. Reply stopped, opt out. Consult a doctor prior to use.
You look amazing. What have you been doing?
You've heard of Ozempic, Wegovy, and the other GLP-1 medications, right? Well, I found this great company called Zelfie. If you qualify, their providers can prescribe medications like Ozempic and Wegovy and other GLP-1 medications that are 80 to 90% less expensive, all 100% online.
I can get GLP-1 medications for 80 to 90% less and do it all online? No doctor's office or pharmacy?
Yes, Zelfie can help provide you with semaglutide or tirzepatide, the active ingredients in Ozempic and other expensive GLP-1s, but for 80 to 90% less.
How do I get started with Zelfie?
Just send them a text.
Text CORRECT to 200-300 to get started today with Zelfie to see if you're eligible. Get the same active ingredients in Wegovy or Ozempic, but for 80 to 90% less and 100% online. Don't wait. Text CORRECT to 200-300 right now for a link to your exclusive offer. Text CORRECT to 200-300. CORRECT to 200-300.
Transform your water with Connecticut. For a limited time, receive a free reverse osmosis drinking station, $400 off with a trade-in, and 0% interest for 12 months with approved credit. Don't wait. The offer ends soon. Call Connecticut today.
You've decided to divorce.
I'm attorney Steve Benke. If you're worried about getting the bills paid, childcare, and your divorce, we'll help make it simple, painless, and affordable.
Your future matters. Call the law office of Steve Benke.
Call 210-DIVORCE or go to BenkeLaw.com.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star traffic from News Talk 550 KTSA.
Good morning. Mostly road work to get in your way on a 35 southbound Olympia Parkway to 1604. This road work has just the left lane getting by. 25-minute delay slow from FM 3009. On 35 northbound, Judson to Tupperwine, roadway reduced to one lane, and that has you slow from Loop 410. On 410 eastbound, Harry Wurzbach to Starcrest, road work, left lane getting by. I'm Debbie Alcacer, KTSA, Time Saver Traffic.
San Antonio Sports Center.
The Spurs fell last night to the Dallas Mavericks, 133-129. They were paced by Harrison Barnes, 29, and Devin Vassell's 24. The Spurs have given up 274 points in their last two games. The Dallas Cowboys did make a move. They added Broncos running back Javonte Williams on a one-year, $3 million deal. I'm Rob Thompson for 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Sports Center is brought to you by Buyers Barricades, the Texas authority in barricade rental. BuyersBarricades.com.
From the studios of San Antonio Sports Star, reaching more sports fans than any station in South Texas. Welcome to the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson. This is 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Hour number 2 of the Morning Huddle, AJ and Rob on a Tuesday. The day that's not Monday. Did you get caught up on sleep?
I'm better today, but I realized, I didn't sleep well most people don't sleep well when you change the clocks, but there is an extenuating circumstance. We're in the middle of a blood moon. Did you know that?
No.
Yeah, on the 14th.
Yeah, tomorrow, and it started today, and we'll go for a couple of days. We're working our way to a full lunar eclipse.
Oh.
So, you ask any teacher or nurse, a full moon it just gets weird. The lunar pull, the neap tides, things like that happen.
Yeah.
And then you combine the fact that we, in the week, we've got a, do we have Friday the 13th coming up? We got a no, we don't.
No, we got a Thursday the 13th.
Thursday, that doesn't count. I thought we'd have Friday the 13th too. But I didn't get great sleep last night, but it was so bright because of the full moon.
Did you take a nap yesterday?
I tried. I got some turmoil going on at home, so I'm not turmoil, but my routine was screwed up.
Your wife's been hitting you?
No, it's not. Turmoil was just the worst word. That was not it at all. No, I got busy.
She made a bad meal, Rob. It's no need to get into altercations or divorce over.
Stay on the add meal way. It's after 7. The alarm's gone off.
It just the meal that made your tummy hurt. That's all.
No, that was But so I didn't get a nap because there was things happening. So no, I didn't get a good nap, and maybe that's why. When the Spurs game was over, it was such an inauspicious end. I went to sleep pretty early.
Yeah, I took a nap in my bed yesterday. Normally I nap on the couch to prevent from overnapping, but yesterday I wanted to, and I slept for 3-ish hours.
Whoa, that's dangerous.
Oh, it was so good.
One of those when you wake up and
I kind of felt
don't know
drunk.
What time it is.
I was like stumbling around. Yeah, it was one of those naps.
Although it's hard to shake that, so you don't really feel normal for about 3 hours.
What I do is that's when I go for a walk right after. I make myself go outside, get some fresh air, and take my walks. All right. Elsewhere in the NFL, some of the other moves that have happened so far. The Arizona Cardinals made a big splash. They got Josh Sweat, 4 years, $76.4 million. One of the bigger names in free agency. Familiar with Jonathan Gannon.
Yeah.
It feels like a good match. And they kept a couple of their key guys, including Baron Browning, including Evan Brown. So they are the Cardinals so far in decent shape. I mean, not that they were in great shape last year, but it's
Sweat's a move. But if you're a Cardinal fan, that's showing you they're at least they're trying.
Yeah, Yeah. Who else is the Bills add Josh Palmer from the Chargers wide receiver. They lose Mac Hollins to the Patriots.
Interesting decision.
It's their main objective is to lock in key guys. They've re-signed Josh Allen, Greg Rousseau, Khalil Shakir, Terrell Bernard, Reed Ferguson, all re-signed. They're focusing on their own guys. They still need serious help in the secondary. That is going to be their focus going forward, is my guess.
And Palmer's just a piece.
Yeah, I mean, but you lose Mac Hollins, who was good for you down the stretch. I guess that's what you're replacing him with. I don't know. The Panthers have they've been working on defense. Patrick Jones and a couple defensive tackles, Bobby Brown and Tershawn Wharton. The defense was so dreadful last year. They're going to be focused on that side of the ball. The Bears have obviously been
I like what the Bears
busy.
are doing, man. They're doing, at least they're paying the right positions. I don't know if it's the right guy in the position, but they're buying the right positions.
So what they've done so far is they've invested in offensive line. Drew Dahlman, Jonah Jackson, Joe Tooney. That was via trade.
And Tooney's the best move, obviously.
Yeah. And then you get Grady Jarrett and Deo Odiengbo. That's easy for me to say. On the defensive line. He's had 16 sacks over the last 3 years. You're going to pair him with Montez Sweat. All of a sudden, your defensive front looks pretty solid. I like what the Bears have done.
But it's the Bears. They're going to
They'll find a way to blow it. The Bengals have, obviously keeping T. Higgins was a big deal for them. They add Samaje Perine into Darryl Slayton. They lose Alex Kappa to the Raiders. They lose Sam Hubbard to retirement, and it looks like they're going to lose Trey Hendrickson. That's sort of the big thing that's floating out there. No word yet on exactly what's happened, but that's where we're at. The Browns have mostly stayed pat. They re-signed Myles Garrett, which I think was unexpected, and they traded Dorian Thompson-Robinson for Kenny Pickett. So one man's trash is another man's treasure. In this case, I think one man's trash is your neighbor's trash, and you've just swapped trash.
Pickett, apart from his little tiny doll hands, is not a terrible.
Oh, he sucks.
I mean, I said he's not terrible.
Oh, well, you're friendlier than I am. I think he sucks.
Little tiny hands.
The Broncos, their only additions, Talanoa Hufanga, the safety. The Lions added DJ Reed at corner, lost Carlton Davis, and lost Zadarius Smith. We'll see how they replace those guys on defense, because the Lions seem to just kind of hope things work out on that side of the ball.
Well, they do, but they've drafted pretty well.
Yeah.
I mean, considering the injuries they went through last year, they maintained pretty well. So at the very least, the guys that are going to replace have had lots of reps.
Cameron Bynum and Charvarius Ward, two secondary guys going to the Colts so far. Ward, former All-Pro player.
Yeah, Charvarius can play.
And Indy did lose their starting center, Ryan Kelly, who, I don't know how big of a deal that is. They do have a guy who was sort of their swing inside guy who looks like he's going to be the replacement. Jacksonville has signed Patrick McCarry, Jordan Lewis, Eric Murray, and Robert Hainsey. Nothing sexy there. Lost Christian Kirk. So I don't know. I guess the McCarry's probably the best of it, the former Ravens lineman.
And Jordan's going to start for him.
Yeah,
Lewis will step in as a starting cornerback.
The Kansas City Chiefs have added Jalen Moore, Elijah Mitchell, and lost Joe Tooney, so not a whole lot there. The Raiders we've talked about plenty. Geno Smith, Alex Kappa, Jeremy Chin, the safety as well. Re-signed Max Crosby. This has been a good offseason for the Raiders.
Yeah.
Their only real key loss has been Nate Hobbs to the Packers. I think they're going to be okay. Chargers have done almost nothing. They re-signed Khalil Mack yesterday. I mentioned losing Josh Palmer. They released Joey Bosa. They released Poona Ford, or lost Poona Ford to the Rams. They haven't done anything. They picked up a corner in Dante Jackson, but not enough to fix the problems that they've got. I thought they were going to be much more aggressive this offseason.
I think that Harbaugh is going to build this team from the floor up with the draft. Draft tough guys that do tough things.
Speaking of Poona Ford, he and Devontae Adams, the key additions for the Rams.
Super Bowl bound, baby.
They re-signed Matt Stafford. And the guys that they lost, they traded away Jonah Jackson to the Bears. I don't think that was a big deal. I think they've had one of the better off seasons. The Dolphins, this is how you know you've had a really bad off season. No key re-signings, no key departures. The only thing you've added is Zach Wilson.
Well,
that's not good.
If they're healthy, that offense is about as good as there is.
They're never going to be healthy.
That's the problem. And the thing about that style of offense is there's not a lot of dudes that can do it.
Yeah.
So if they're not out there, don't spend the money on it, because I think that McDaniel and everybody there realizes our style is unique, and if our guys are healthy, we can do it. And it's funny that they haven't landed anybody yet. Didn't they lead the league in that Players Association survey about quality of life? Miami's a fabulous place to play.
Yep.
They love you. They take care of you. They pay you. But that doesn't translate into free agency if you just don't want to spend the money on it.
The Vikings have added nothing. They did re-sign Aaron Jones,
which was not a shock, but I think that's probably the only thing they need to do.
But they let Sam Darnold leave. They let Cam Bynum leave.
Well, they had McCarthy. They knew that was coming. Bynum, there's still some time.
You have to hope McCarthy's ready to go, and that's the big question. The New England Patriots have been good so far. They lost Davin Godchaux to the Saints, but the team that had the most money to spend has been spending it. Milton Williams, Carlton Davis, Harold Landry's their big splash, Robert Spillane, and Morgan Moses. They have done quite a bit. Milton Williams was looked at as one of the top 10 free agents available. Harold Landry, sort of the same boat. You got a corner to pair with Christian Gonzalez, so you're in pretty damn good shape so far. I mean, obviously, you still need wide receiver help. They still don't have a lot of weapons, but again, they're building the roster the right way by taking care of building a base with your big people and then working outward. I think that's the right move. Saints have done very little. The Giants have done very little. They did re-sign Tommy DeVito, though. Tommy Cutlets is back. So is Darius Slayton. I don't know that that's a good thing.
That's awesome.
The Jets yesterday, the Jets signed Justin Fields. And this feels like it's 2 years, $40 million. I don't know what Justin Fields is. I mean, I think the Jets still need to be on the prowl for a quarterback. I just don't know what Justin Fields is going to bring that.
It doesn't matter, AJ. This is a throw-up. You got a quarterback for nothing.
Yeah.
But
I mean, you obviously want to compete.
And they're going to compete in a way that might kill him. I mean, he's going to be running for his life.
Yeah.
But
that's the problem.
Why they got Justin Fields, because he's got wheels.
I've seen Justin Fields play behind the Bears offensive line a couple years ago, and it was really, really bad.
Yeah, it's exactly.
And this Jets offensive line is really, really bad. I imagine Justin Fields is in for I don't know. I guess he's got to take what he's offered. But I was, for Justin Fields' sake, I was hopeful he would land in a spot where maybe he's
going to be fine.
He could pull a Sam Darnold and be put into a place. That's why I thought maybe Pittsburgh, maybe he'd have a shot there. But I don't know, man.
Well, we talked about as we head toward Pittsburgh, we talked about the Metcalf arrived. That either told you Wilson's absolutely in or he's absolutely gone when that guy arrived. And it turned out he was absolutely in. I think when we look at Fields next year, he's not going to have the Darnold year, but he might have enough wins to justify coming back.
The Jets have lost Aaron Rodgers, Devontae Adams, Hassan Reddick, DJ Reed, Javon Kinlaw, and Morgan Moses. That's a lot to lose.
Well, you can't fall off the floor, man. I mean, they were horrible. So, yeah, goodbye and good riddance.
2 years ago, they were a quarterback away.
They were.
Just a quarterback away from being a Super Bowl team.
Well, and legitimately they were. I mean, in hindsight, it feels like a joke. But when you go look at that roster 2 years ago and what they had done previous, they were probably not Super Bowl ready. But that was a team that looked like they were built to contend for a couple of years. They had strong cornerback play. great running back play while he was healthy. Wide receivers they drafted appropriately. They had good backup cornerbacks. They had their left tackle. They had defensive line. They had all the ingredients. They did.
The Eagles lost. They retained Zach Bond and Saquon Barkley, which was key. They lost Josh Sweat, lost Milton Williams, lost Isaiah Rodgers, lost some pretty key guys off that defense. It's going to have to take a step back, but they've done such a good job drafting on defense. My guess is they continue to do so.
There's still a lot of Georgia dudes they can draft this year, too.
Steelers have added DK Metcalf, Donald Parham, and Ryan McCollum. Lose Dante Jackson, and they re-signed Jalen Warren. I don't know what the Steelers are doing, quite frankly. I really don't know what the 49ers are doing. The 49ers they added Trey Tomlinson at corner, but they lost Debo. They lost the two guys off their offensive line, Aaron Banks and Jalen Moore. They lost Talanoa Hufanga. They lost Elijah Mitchell, and they have apparently, I don't know if they've done it yet, if this move's been made yet, but I was reading that if they can't find a trade partner for Kyle Juszczyk, he's going to be released.
Which means he's going to be released.
It's not a lot of teams are using fullbacks in 2025.
Only the Cowboys.
And the 49ers are one of them. You're a fullback. You're a dying breed, man. It's going to be hard for him to find a new spot. The Seahawks obviously add Sam Darnold. They kept Ernest Jones, lost DK, lost Tyler Lockett, lost Geno Smith. We mentioned that the Bucs re-signed Chris Godwin.
That's just
they added in Hassan Reddick. I'd say decent so far. So good for the Bucs.
That's where you go to die as a really good football player. Just go play out years in the warm Florida climate, win 9 games, and happily retire. Because Godwin, that was thank you money.
And then the Commanders, who I think have had the best offseason so far. You know, Debo, Laramie Tunsil, Javon Kinlaw, all impact players. They re-signed Bobby Wagner, re-signed Zach Ertz, and their only real loss has been De'Ami Brown to the Jags. But you replaced him with Debo. Like you're in really good shape if you're Washington. I'm really impressed with what they've done. A team that was kind of better than I think anybody expected last year, and now looks like they're going to be a real contender. So kudos to them for killing it, at least on day one.
With this consistent improvement, I wonder how much that affects the calculus of the Cowboys. When they look at this team across the street that they're going to have to see, and then they look at the Super Bowl champs, you wonder how quickly do we got to get good, because just being really good ain't going to be enough, even in our own division.
All right, let's hit a break, and when we come back, we'll take a look at what free agents are left out there and where they could end up. It is the Morning Huddle 94.1.
Dr. Jacob Torres is my doctor, not just a weight loss physician, far more to that to me. In fact, I'll be headed over to his great storefront up about 11 o'clock today to go through physical therapy in preparation for something entirely different. That's why I enjoy the Institute for Functional Health, because the health part of that is key. They do everything required to keep their patients in the best health possible. And, of course, weight loss is a key part of that. So many of the things that we live with or have to deal with are because of the weight that we've added over many years. So many of us have had issues losing weight. Either we haven't tried or don't want to try or didn't feel like we would be successful after a failed attempt or two. If you're like me a couple years back, feeling tired all the time, not quite figuring out why I feel so bad, just know that I do. Maybe it's your weight. Go see Dr. Torres today. Let him explain to you how the dropping of a few pounds really causes more pounds to fall off, that a program that you can sustain with, that you can live with, can add years to your life. If it's time to lose weight, call him today. The number is 210-468-1891. Now, his website is an invaluable resource. It's iffhealth.com. Go there. Do your due diligence. Read through the site. Answer the questions he asks, and then call and talk to him. If it's time to lose weight, if you're ready to choose your life and take on a program that will be customized only for you, that while he's serviced and worked with thousands of patients, yours will be individual. Call him today and get him started, and you will find that you can lose weight a lot easier than you ever thought you would, and that seems to kind of snowball, you know. You'll change your life if you call Dr. Torres, and when you do, come on by and thank me later.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Stars Spring Golf Classic is back. Monday, April 14th at the Golf Club of Texas. Get your slot now. $120 per person or $400 per foursome. The Spring Golf Classic, benefiting the Pan American Golf Association, is presented by Flight by Yingling, sponsored in part by Ensira.com and PPL Motorhomes. The Spring Golf Classic, Monday, April 14th. Sign up now at sasportstar.com.
Oh, could this vintage store be any cuter?
Right? And the best part? They accept Discover.
Accept Discover? In a little place like this? I don't think so, Jennifer.
Oh, yeah, huh? Discover's accepted where I like to shop. Come on, baby, get with the times.
Right, so we shouldn't get the parachute pants?
These are making a comeback. I think.
Discover is accepted at 99% of places that take credit cards nationwide, based on the February 2024 Nielsen report.
Something amazing is happening at work. Innovative tools are helping people do better work. That's because CDW configuration specialists are multiplying productivity with Microsoft Windows 11 Pro Surface devices. Built-in security, flexibility, and simplified management streamline tasks so your team can get more done. Microsoft and CDW. Make amazing happen. Learn more at cdw.com/surface.
Someone had a birthday.
Yep, 50. Can't believe it.
50 years of wisdom.
Great segue. We have health news, a CDC update.
Pneumococcal vaccination is now recommended for adults 50 or older. Says here, we're over 6 times more likely to be hospitalized with pneumococcal pneumonia than adults under 50.
I don't love those odds.
Same. Look what I found. Pfizer's Prevnar 20 is proven to help protect adults against pneumococcal pneumonia and invasive pneumococcal disease in just 1 dose, and millions have already gotten it.
Continued approval may depend on a supportive study. Don't get Prevnar 20 if you have a severe allergy to its ingredients. A weakened immune system may lower your response. Common side effects include injection site pain and swelling, fatigue, headache, muscle, and joint pain. For full prescribing information, please call 1-855-213-2138. Visit Prevnar20.com or talk to your doctor or pharmacist.
I'm on Prevnar20.com now, scheduling my appointment.
Good idea. And happy 50th.
If you're 55 and up, T-Mobile has plans built just for you. 2 lines of unlimited for just $30 a line. That's a 45% savings compared to Verizon and AT&T. But don't just take our word for it.
It's not just the savings that are great with our T-Mobile plan. There's all this value from all these other things that T-Mobile offers.
T-Mobile has been such a savings for us.
We love it.
Switch today and get 2 free 5G phones like the Motorola Edge with Turbo Power charging that gives you power for the day in just 15 minutes. And customers 55 and up can get 2 lines of talk, text, and data for only $30 a line. Go to T-Mobile.com/choice55 to learn more. With AutoPay plus taxes and fees, plus $5 per line without AutoPay. Debit or bank account required. 45% off 2 lines versus AT&T Starter and Verizon Welcome. Plan benefits vary. Motorola Edge on us with 24 monthly bill credits and new line for well-qualified customers, plus tax and $35 per line connection charge. See details at T-Mobile.com. Motorola Edge requires 68-watt charger. Charger sold separately. Actual performance will vary based on usage and configuration.
Mornings can start feeling the same. Wake up, brush teeth, go to work. But with breakfast from Wendy's, it's like, wake up, brush teeth, Baconate with a breakfast Baconator. Roll with the sausage breakfast burrito. Buddy it up with a honey buddy. Or get seasoned with seasoned potatoes. And then go to work. Sorry. When you're ready for a fresh wake-up call, gotta be Wendy's.
At participating U.S. Wendy's during breakfast hour.
If you missed the Blitz with Jason and Joe, then you missed this.
It's been a great day.
It has been a good day.
Ryan Eagle's been on a bit of a high because he actually did some handyman stuff at the house all by himself and got a very simple job done in about 30 minutes.
My only problem was that when I was there, I think the dogs were a little afraid to go out. Yeah, they've seen me work before.
Well,
so it's like, I'm not sure if that thing's safe.
Right home with the Blitz. Afternoons 2 to 6 on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star. You're locked on the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson.
It's showtime.
Woo! Here it is. This is the hook.
Through the
All right.
Yeah. Who'd have thought you could have improved on Dreamweaver?
I know.
But they did. San Antonio's own Passing Strangers.
I've never heard this.
Oh, God. It's of a time.
Yeah.
Okay. Hey. Good for them. Alexandra says, Rob, good-looking shirt.
Oh, thank you. It's brand new, by the way.
You're not in love, though.
No, it doesn't fit me right. And it's got the one thing that no one wants.
What?
The tag.
Oh, it's itchy?
Itches the neck. I'm going to have to well, it's sewn all the way across. It's going to require a little bit of work.
A little precision. Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah, sometimes a good-looking shirt isn't always the answer.
Beauty is pain.
That's right. That's right.
That's why I'm in agony.
Yeah. That's why I never feel pain.
That's why I giggle
I
through
just
life.
walk around feeling great all the time. Just feeling great. Yeah, Jerry Jones. What do you mean, Claymore? Big spender, Jerry Jones. Big spender.
Hey.
How dare you?
Go ask Dak.
Cheap.
Cowboys spending it. Spending it. And Chris said that's why he had to find a side team.
Who's this Sancho?
He's tired of living with Jerry's bonehead moves. It's like I gotta find somebody on the side.
The Brahmas?
I don't know, the gunslingers.
Slingers, baby.
The top free agents remaining unsigned at this point. Javon Holland, this is according to CBS, they had a list of the top 100 free agents going into the offseason. Number 9 on the list is safety Javon Holland of the Dolphins. He's still unsigned. Number 15 is Will Freese of the Colts, offensive lineman. Justin Reed of the Chiefs is 16. Cam Robinson of the Vikings, the offensive lineman, is 17. Mekhi Becton is 19. And Tevin Jenkins of the Bears, the offensive lineman, is 25. Other guys of note, Bills' Rasul Douglas is 28, cornerback. Kevin Zeitler, offensive lineman for the Lions.
Cooper Kupp is going to be a free agent,
yes,
right?
He is.
Like there are some dudes that are still not technically
Kyle
free agents.
Juszczyk falls into that category.
But are going to be. But if looking through it through the prism of the Cowboys, there's 3 or 4 offensive linemen that could help.
I think so.
I mean, they're not stars out there, but there's some guys that are obviously better than you got. And I wonder if it's worth the wait, or do you just dive in now?
Yeah, I think there are. You can't dive in with what you've got, like with what you've got.
Well, what I'm saying is, do you spend a little bit of money now, or knowing that there's a market for them? And you got about 4 dudes. The guy from the Vikings, I like. What's the
Cam?
Him, the guard.
I don't now. I just said his name, and now it slipped my mind. Cam Robinson.
He's kind of a swing.
Could play tackle if you need him to.
I would dive in on him, and I'd pay him upwards of. He's probably going to ask about 18, 20, probably.
Yeah.
Or do you wait and see if there's truly a market? This is where the witchcraft of being a general manager is. And as far as where the Cowboys are, you can't afford to wait.
I don't think so either. Because I think the worst thing that can happen to the Cowboys is, and I like him for them. I like Kevin Zeitler, the interior lineman for the Lions. You're going to need an adult on that offensive line. You can't assume we'll just build an offensive line through the draft, because so far that's not working. All right? Like, that's worked in the past, but what you've currently got is not working. You've got one guy right now on your offensive line who is a replacement level player.
Right.
And that's bad. You're not going to fix that with just the draft.
And the wish and a prayer. I mean, the typical Cowboy, if progress goes, then all things will be fine. But it just feels like right now, you've followed your strategy, at least for the early part of this. You're going to be selectively aggressive. But there's 4 guys out there that can legitimately help. And I don't want to confuse activity for achievement. I don't want you to go out and do something just because you need to do something. But I do think there's enough opportunity here to justify spending a little bit of money, and maybe even more than you might have spent. Not a lot more because you don't got much, but to go get something to kind of not just cement your team, but to also help your fans to kind of help us along with this, because you got an angry fan base right now.
You've got either angry or checking out.
Well, the apathetic part comes, but anger is the first thing, and then after that you get the apathy, and I think a lot of those have checked out, but the angry fans are waiting, and you teased them just enough. You actually did something at a position of need. Not a great thing, but I will give that on the achievement part of things other than the activity part. Activity is re-signing your long snapper. That's activity. That's not achievement. Achievement is going and doing something. So I give them some time, but I do think they've got opportunity here. I'd hate to see this pass by.
And looks like Will Freeze is no longer available as an option.
There we go.
Because Jonathan Allen and Will Freeze both are now Minnesota Vikings, adding to their offensive and defensive line.
McCarthy's, they're setting up the wall for him.
They really are. So, and Jonathan Allen, give him a little piece on the other side of the ball, guy who can be a real disruptor. So, Vikings making some moves to start day 2 of the process. This is
and really the process hadn't begun. It doesn't even really start in earnest till tomorrow.
Yeah, this is the tampering period. Yeah, and you mentioned the guys who, like, going into the season, Sam Darnold was at the top of the free agent list. That was before Devontae Adams got released. That was before Harold Landry and Tyler Lockett and Joey Bosa and Jonathan Allen and those types got released. I guess I should mention Aaron Rodgers was also released. Cooper Kupp eventually will be released. So the list of free agents that exists today isn't the final list of free agents. Right. There's going to be more guys out there. But I agree with you that the Cowboys probably need, particularly on that offensive line, probably need to jump up and grab something now before you're picking through the scraps after everybody else has taken what they want.
And as these quarterbacks land and they're signing some money, the other teams are figuring out, okay, this is what I got left. Now, how am I going to be able to protect the guy I just signed? Do I need to? So I think, unfortunately, it's a seller's market. I mean, these linemen are going to get paid, I think. But you're probably do better to pay a little bit more than have nothing.
Well, but again, like we talked about, Jerry does not pay other guys' players money,
but
real money.
When you say it's selectively aggressive, I hate to think the aggression part is a $3 million 1-year running back. That's not very aggressive. But then again, what do we expect?
Or it's extremely selective. Yeah. Extremely selective.
And maybe, I wouldn't be upset if they do nothing until after the draft. Maybe they have their eyes on it, but I don't have any reason to trust that their eyes are good.
No, it's hard to believe that even in the draft, it's hard to believe that they've got some big plan.
Pay somebody that you're weak at drafting, whether it's D-line or offensive line. Pay somebody that you know what you're getting.
No, I tend to agree. All right. When we come back, let's take a look at the latest mock draft, because we were talking about how maybe this has impacted what the Cowboys would do with that 12th pick. We'll do that next. It is the Morning Huddle on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star traffic from Newstalk 550 KTSA.
Good morning. This road work on 35 causing heavy delays southbound Olympia Parkway to 1604. This is 85 minutes of a travel time now, so just avoid it if you can. 35 southbound Olympia Parkway to 1604. Majorly heavy. All that gets by is a left lane. Headed northbound on 35, Judson to Tupperwine, 5-10 minutes or so. Road work has the roadway reduced to 1 lane. And on 410 eastbound, that on-ramp from Nacogdoches, road work blocking the entrance ramp. I'm Debbie Alcacer, KTSA, Time Saver Traffic.
Nigel, what are you doing with all this stuff in the break room? It looks like a farmer's market in here.
I'm changing my eating habits, embracing good quality nutrition with fresh produce.
Folks, maintaining a healthy AC system is just like maintaining a healthy diet. Let's make sure your system is clean and efficient. Nigel, that's a pretty impressive healthy salad you've assembled.
Thanks, Joel. Now step back. The grease is hot.
Grease?
Quarter Moon Plumbing, Heat, and AC, 210-651-5899. License number TACLA 141074E and 16004.
This report is sponsored by Rocket. Rocket is giving every home one address. Rocket.com, a single seamless home ownership platform to help you find, buy, sell, finance, even refinance your home. Everything you need, all under one roof. Visit Rocket.com, the new home for all things home ownership. Rocket, own the dream.
Try Round Table Pizza's new pepperoni, grilled chicken, and bacon pizza. And don't forget to pair it with our irresistible shareables, mozzarella sticks, jalapeno poppers, or golden potato wedges. The perfect bite to complement your meal. Find the nearest nearest location or order delivery at roundtablepizza.com.
Do you ever scroll through social media only to find yourself bombarded by bad news, hot takes, picture-perfect families, and yet another humbling professional update? It's hard not to get wrapped up in how everyone else is doing, but imagine how you would feel if you spent 45 minutes focused on how you are doing. At Cerebral, they make it easier than ever to access dedicated therapists and doctor-prescribed medication personalized to you. The best part, Cerebral offers in-network care so you can focus on feeling better without worrying about the cost. In fact, 72% of people say they felt better in just 12 weeks. Cerebral makes mental health care easy, accessible, and more affordable. Cerebral is proud to be an official sponsor of the San Antonio Spurs, and just like athletes prioritize their physical health, mental health is just as important, and Cerebral is here to help you build a strong foundation on your overall well-being. Take that first step today. Go to Cerebral.com to see how affordable and accessible mental health care can be with insurance. Cerebral, make time for Mind Time.
Wow! Most cars and trucks can get premium ceramic window film installed by the experts at Mother's Window Tint, starting at just $199. Don't wait! Protect your ride today. Our competitors charge hundreds more, but at Mother's, you get the best quality and value. Call now or visit motherswindowtint.com to schedule your installation. With up to 60 different film options, we've got the perfect fit for every car and budget. Stop by one of our locations and see the difference for yourself. Want to boost your vehicle's security? We've got you covered with advanced systems starting at just $399. Call 210-213-2118 today and ask about our alarm specials. Since 1984, we've been the home of the tint and alarm special. Don't wait. Visit Mother's Window Tint today. Call now or go online to book your service. Your car deserves it. Mother's Window Tint. Since 1984. Call or visit motherswindowtint.com. That's motherswindowtint.com. And remember, do it at Mother's and save.
Hi, my name is Jason Thompson. I'm an attorney here in San Antonio where I've practiced for more than 30 years. And San Antonio has really grown since I started practicing law. The risk of injury in a car crash today is greater than it's ever been because every day we're forced to share our roads with 80,000-pound 18-wheelers and some truly dangerous drivers. If you or a family member is injured in a car crash, know this. The insurance companies are mobilized against you. They have highly trained adjusters and a long roster of attorneys with one job: pay as little as possible. Their techniques are extensive, and I believe you have zero chance of obtaining a fair recovery on your own. If you're involved in a car crash, you need to hire an attorney as soon as possible after the collision and before you speak to the insurance company's adjusters. Now, I do not have a comic book nickname. I do not call myself the Law Eagle, the Tiger Lawyer, the Law Chupacabra. I think the practice of law needs to be taken more seriously. If you've been injured, call me, Jason Thompson, for a free consultation. My number is 210-900-0400. That's 210-900-0400, or my website, alawyerforus.com.
Calling all flag football fans, HEB and the Dallas Cowboys are hosting the first annual Dallas Cowboys Flag Football Classic presented by HEB. On March 16th from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m., head to the Star Soccer Complex in San Antonio to watch local youth flag football teams take the field, hang with Rowdy at the Dallas Cowboys Hall of Fame trailer, and more. For more details, visit dallascowboys.com/HEB flag today.
The NFL lives right here. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
These guys from San Antonio?
Huh?
These guys from San Antonio?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who's this, Fish?
This is... I don't know who this is. Fish.
Metallica.
Metallica.
Dum. Exit line. And tonight. I remember thinking, man, Metallica's going soft when they made this album. But then the more I listened to it,
yeah,
I appreciate this album too.
You do?
I do.
When I think Metallica, this is what I think of.
Oh, really?
This is it.
Oh, man.
Yeah,
I
legit.
like Ride the Lightning and Master of Puppets.
Yeah, I mean, I think
like
of those.
The old school. It was like, they used to be way harder.
Yeah.
Now this, though, when I think of Metallica, when they made it to the dentists and the lawyers.
No, you're right.
It was this song.
Yeah, they became much more popular when they had, all they had to do was tone it down a little, which was this album, and they became much more marketable to the masses.
I see a lot of people wanting to play at the Super Bowl.
I think
I'd be
it'd
down.
be a good,
I mean, in San Francisco, right? It makes sense.
Of all the metal out there, they would be the one that could do it.
Of course.
There's
That makes
nobody
sense.
else. Unless it's, what's the German band again? That's
Rammstein.
Rammstein.
Yeah, do us.
If we can have a flaming orgasm all over the
Du hast mich.
That's really what the Super Bowl needs.
Incubus says play some 311 on 311 day.
How about Incubus?
I like Incubus too. Yeah, I like 311 also. I was texting my buddy. My buddy's a big 311 fan, and they're going to play in Houston pretty soon. I was like, I might go check that show out. I haven't seen them in a few years. I haven't gotten high in front of people in a few years.
So on 311 at 420, what goes on?
I don't know. I would.
Well, that's Primus.
I would imagine
or whatever.
Yeah, Incubus.
Incubus. Sorry,
That's
or
right.
Primus. What's another fine band?
Are they?
Well, if you like distorted guitars for 8 minutes.
That's
songs.
right. All right. The latest NFL mock draft, and let's go to CBSSports.com for this one. And with the number one pick, I've seen this bounce around. He's got the Titans taking Abdul Carter, which again, I still think is the right move.
Well, it's too smart to actually happen, but yeah, I think it'll happen.
And especially when Tennessee released Harold Landry, my instant thought was, well, they've made a decision. They
have.
Yeah. So they're willing to ride it out one more year of Will Levis.
Well, somebody might offer him the world. I mean, I think they're holding out hope. Somebody calls them and offers them, like the Giants, the number 3 and something else. Or, I think they would be willing to listen, but if it's their pick, they're crazy if it's not him.
Number 2 to the Cleveland Browns, Cam Ward. Boy, Cam Ward better hope he goes number 1 or number 4 or anywhere but number 2.
Do you think that was part of the conversation?
With who?
With, as I was going to say, it fell out of my brain. Defensive line signed yesterday.
Oh, Miles Garrett?
Do you think it was part of the conversation with Miles? Like, hey, man, we're drafting a quarterback. I mean, you'd like to think that he was convinced with more than just money.
Yeah, I don't know. I think he was only convinced with money. I really do.
Like I said, I'd like to think it was more than just money, but maybe
I don't think so.
160 is enough to whip anybody
They're
into
the
shape.
Browns. Like,
but
what could the Browns tell you to convince you we're going to contend for a Super Bowl in the next
after
5
the
years?
$160 million? No, but I mean, you get the sense that I would, just for my sake, to hold out hope that it wasn't just Cleveland to Canton, that there really was an intent that if you'll hang with us for 3 years, we're going to draft a quarterback, and we're going to go do everything right from here on out. And you'll be my first right move from now on. You're my first step in the right direction. I'm going to pay you $160 million. My second step in the right direction will be drafting the quarterback that we like. Maybe you like too. One of those kind of things.
Yeah, I'd say.
No,
listen, I'll believe it when I see it. You
don't
guys
try to make.
You guys
sense
wouldn't
out of
know.
nonsense.
You guys wouldn't know a quarterback if he fell on your heads.
Pretty true.
The Giants at number 3. This is I have seen Shedeur Sanders mocked anywhere from 3 to 29 in the last 2 or 3 days. He is. I've got no idea where Shedeur Sanders is going to end up.
All I can say is the Giants can't make a mistake. I don't know what.
I agree with that.
I don't know what right will look like, but I know what wrong will.
I am. Again, I wouldn't draft any of these guys in the first round, but I am kind of pushing back against the narrative that Shedeur Sanders is like some sort of a bad egg or something. Like I don't know that I believe that. If anything, the questions are, how's he going to be on the field? I don't worry about him in that way. I until this combine, I'd never heard anyone say anything about him other than, I mean, he's Deion Sanders' son. He's going to have some sort of an ego, but
yeah. I remember a couple years ago when Anthony Edwards came out in the NBA side of things, and he was so obviously going to be the number 1 overall pick.
And he was hidden at Georgia where, like,
and the rumors were
they stunk.
Well, right before the draft, it started coming out from, sources. He doesn't love football. I mean, doesn't love basketball. He really wants to play football. And, Why would you draft a guy who really at some point is probably going to just leave the sport and try something else, which was ridiculous. I mean, everybody who knew him. This guy was going to be great, and he was a basketball player. Football had nothing to do with it. I think there might be some smoke from some teams that are hoping. Maybe if we say some things, he might fall to us. But I also believe that he is going to face more than just being a rookie. He's going to be a rookie whose last name is Sanders.
Yeah.
And that's going to be a hard thing to overcome, even if everything's in the right place. And if I'm the team drafting, I know that it's difficult at best, even when everything is on par, you know what I mean, for success to come in. For him to come in with that kind of baggage, it might make me go, it's just not worth the effort.
Yeah. Chris says, I believe Cam will have a better career than Sanders. But listen,
I don't know.
If Cam, give me the one who doesn't end up in Cleveland. How about that?
Yeah, I mean, it's such witchcraft. It's where they land and happenstance and injuries and all that. I do believe Cam probably has a more live arm, but shoot, Sanders might be born to this and so much more prepared than Cam was.
Yes. How about number 4, Travis Hunter to New England? I can't imagine that would be a pick the Patriots would make. That
really?
Seems like a very, very anti-Vrabel pick. Like Vrabel doesn't go for flash. That's not what he's about. I'd be shocked if that were the case. They do need a wide receiver.
Yeah, that's why I felt like maybe
I would be shocked if anything. I would expect the Patriots to trade out of that spot.
Yeah, makes sense.
5th, the Jags get Mason Graham, the defensive lineman from Michigan, who has jumped way up, while others in that position have fallen way down.
Be very wary of defensive linemen from Michigan, says Dallas Cowboys scout.
The Raiders at 6th, Ashton Genty. This is a very Raiders-y pick.
As to what they've done, makes a whole bunch of sense.
Yep. Pick 7, the Jets with Will Campbell, the left tackle from LSU. Teteroa McMillan to the Panthers at 8. Jalen Walker, edge rusher, to the Saints at 9. Armand Membo, the offensive tackle, to the Bears at 10. They need a lot of offensive line help. Will Johnson, Michigan corner, 11 to San Francisco. And the 12th pick, Rob, this will make you very happy. 6'6", 290 pounds. Shamar Stewart, Texas A&M Fighting Aggie.
Going defensive line makes sense. As far as scouting these guys, I don't know from anybody else. I certainly like that he's an Aggie, and I know that he looked like a first-round pick, and if that's where they go and that's the best guy on the board, I'm all about it. Just as long as whatever position they take in that first round plays inside of the tight end on either side of the ball. I don't care which side, just pick one.
Yeah, and, losing DeMarcus Lawrence, there are question marks still about Micah Parsons, which we'll get to later on. I still don't understand why there's question marks. But
let's hope by the end of the day there won't be.
No, I'd like this pick for the Cowboys. And again, I don't think he's ever going to – the idea that he's going to be the next Myles Garrett is kind of pie in the sky. But
now, that left tackle from Texas is still on the board, though, right?
Yes, he is. Kelvin Banks.
See, that I know that they went there last year. But I'll tell you what, I saw enough Banks to know that guy's going to be a starter in the league for the next 15 years. It'd be hard.
And if it lets you move Guyton to the other side and maybe
and then you can wave goodbye to Steele or something like that. I just know that as far as the guys I saw this year, LSU lineman, Texas lineman, the best I saw.
I think you're right. Tyler Warren, the tight end from Penn State, who everybody thinks is the next big deal, 13 to the Dolphins. 14, Kelvin Banks from Texas to the Colts. 15, Michael Williams from Georgia, the another edge rusher, to the Falcons. Other noteworthy guys, Walter Nolan to the Bengals.
Another former
at
Aggie
17. A former Longhorn, or a current Longhorn, I guess, until this happens. At 18 to the Seahawks, Matthew Golden. That gives you makes up for losing what they've lost at that position. Their new Tyler Lockett, maybe.
Exactly, not maybe. He is.
Let's see. Kenneth Grant, he's kind of tumbled down the board a little bit, the Michigan D lineman. He's at 20 now to the Broncos. Omarion Hampton, 21 to the Steelers, the North Carolina running back. Jahdae Barron, cornerback from Texas, to the Green Bay Packers at number 23. Emeka Egbuka, 25 to the Houston Texans, the Ohio State wide receiver.
Wow.
Yeah.
Do you think that's?
I think that's highly unlikely.
Yeah, I do too.
I think that's highly unlikely, especially given the moves of the last 24 hours. And let's see, anybody else noteworthy in the first round? Oh, Nick Scouton, number 32 to the Philadelphia Eagles. How about that?
Well, they got an eye for D linemen.
They seem to know what they're doing with those. Scouton is it's funny. This is a guy who, as the season was going,
he was the number one.
He was like a top 5 guy, and now he's down at 32. Maybe you got some either he showed some real bad film this year or didn't test well. I don't know.
Or just Shamar's just that much better.
Well, Shamar's certainly bigger and stronger and maybe as fast, and that's enough for some of these guys. But
I would, Scouton was the guy
that's really good against the run too. He feels like a value pick at 32.
Well,
honestly,
he didn't get recruited by A&M. Goes away to Purdue. Gets all Big Ten stuff and comes back home. That guy's been fighting against odds his entire career. I wouldn't bet against him now.
Yep. The lowly Buffalo Bills. They've got them taking Maxwell Hairston, the corner from Kentucky, the 4'2", 840 guy that had a 40-inch vertical. It's like, okay, yeah, I'll take that guy. I don't know if he can play, but
but he can jump over the guy.
Yeah, you do that. You run a 4.28 and you got a 40-inch vertical. I'll take my chances with you. We'll make it work out. All right. And again, these things they change every single day. But I did like this one because it had the Cowboys doing what I've been kind of saying instead of taking your spinny wheels or your stereo, you take the money that you've got for your and go get your oil change. Do the priority things.
And honest to God, AJ, as much as I'm happy that they might be looking at an Aggie, and they do like A&M products. There's been an Aggie on that defense for a long time. Whether they might be losing the safety, but more often than not, there's an Aggie running around back there. If you're going to go defense, that's fine. But my gut says, man, if you're not going offense all in on this, you're just not doing it right. You just got to do something to move the ball and score some points, because no matter how much work you put into it, you're still dealing with a Super Bowl champion and a Washington offense that's going to put points on the board. You're going to have to play defense. I mean, and you don't expect much on this. Or you're going to have to score some points on offense to protect your quarterback. And I don't like their defensive linemen, honestly. I don't like the guys they pick. They just don't pan out. Go to your strength.
No, but, I mean, some of these guys are –
I agree.
But there's something to be said for how they've done with edge rusher. Like, I mean, that's better than what they've done on the interior, certainly.
I am twice shy on this, man. I mean, I've just watched over the last 4 years one bad defensive lineman draft after another in the high rounds, and I had no reason to doubt the last one or the one prior to that, but they just didn't work. They've drafted offensive linemen better. They have a better eye for it. Now, I don't know if
you sure can't tell it based on their offensive line now.
I agree, but look at the D line. I mean, it could be even worse. Those guys don't even linger. They're gone quicker than this O-line. And maybe the times have changed. But when you ask me who should the Cowboys draft by their past history, I think success is more imminent on the offensive side of the line than defense. And just other than Micah, which was an easy one, there was no question that Micah was probably a pretty good pick at the spot. DeMarcus turned out. Other than that, Osa, he got paid. Let's see if it turns out. There just hasn't been a good eye for it. And offensive line, they have. That's the only question I have about it. But if they end up with an Aggie, it's hard to complain.
They did a Bleacher Report did this. And so, it's Bleacher Report. You can take it with a grain of salt. But they did a report card on first-round draft picks at the end of the season. And the Cowboys had the lowest grade.
Yeah.
So, I mean, listen, it was you weren't picking in the top 5. You know what I mean? Like you
have to have an eye, a true scout's pick.
And you knew you weren't going to get a real Tyron Smith replacement with the 29th pick in the draft. That wasn't going to happen. But Tyler Guyton got a D. 16 total penalties, second worst among all players in the league. Surrendered multiple sacks, significant pressure, has plenty of tools, but the process takes time. We'll see.
Yeah,
we'll see how much time it takes. He was so bad. And I'm with you. I remember early on when we were talking to Coach McCarthy, and I was saying, Guyton was hitting a murderer's row of pass rushers early on, and they were all just taking a dump on him.
Mm-hmm.
But then when the schedule lightened up later, it was more of the same. It was like
he never got better.
No, and that is really worrisome. Like it's one, or the Brian Burns and those guys. Yeah, they're going to make you look bad. I get that. T.J. Watt's going to make you look bad, but at some point you got to be better than some of the guys you're lining up across from. Otherwise, you don't belong.
And it just was bad after bad. And then when health started to play a role, and he started to get better there. The offense behind him was so bad, it was hard to tell. I mean, you had a quarterback that was holding the ball too long, so sacks were happening. I mean, just all kinds of issues by the end of the season.
Christopher says, don't waste draft pick on defense, go offensive line or wide receiver.
It kind of feels like that to me, too. And it's not about wasting. It's just about who you're good at drafting more than anything else.
Wide receiver would surprise me, I guess, at least in round one. Although they got needs all over the place.
If they take a wide receiver in the first, we got serious problems.
Yeah. All right. Man, 2 hours down, 2 to go. Well, you know what? Let's make a commitment, Rob.
I'm committed.
Let's finish strong.
Okay.
It's the Morning Huddle on 94.1 San Antonio Sports
Star. You're locked on the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson. KTFM Floresville.
This report is sponsored by eBay. Swapping out your tires, there's nothing like it. With eBay, you find the feel you're looking for. From smooth highway rides to grip for rough terrain. Get all the tires you need at prices you'll love. eBay, things people love.
San Antonio, the NCAA 2025 Men's Final Four is coming April 4th through the 7th. Check out Reese's Men's Final Four Friday, a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity where you can watch open practices and the Reese's NABC All-Star Game at the Alamo Dome for free. And for the music lovers, March Madness Music Festival, presented by AT&T, Capital One, and Coca-Cola, with 3 days of free concerts, featuring the biggest acts in music at Tower Park and Hemisphere. Visit ncaa.com/men's Final Four.
With conference championships just around the corner, now's the time to register for Twin Peaks $1 Million Bracket Challenge. Go sign up at TwinPeaksBracketChallenge.com and fill out your bracket before the tournament tips on March the 20th. Enter for a chance to win $2 million and other epic prizes, including $50 gift cards to the top bracket from every Twin Peaks lodge. Step up your game at Twin Peaks with 29-degree cold beer, handcrafted cocktails, and scratch kitchen-made food to satisfy your every craving. Only at Twin Peaks. Eats, drinks, and those scenic views.
When your business needs an electrician, for over 35 years, the family-owned Hill Electric has served San Antonio. Powered by relationships with dedicated estimators who analyze the issue, research cost-effective solutions, and clearly communicate the options without charging you a dime. A proven process that allows you to continue focusing on your unique purpose. Call Hill Electric at 210-404-9074. That's 404-9074. Or hill-electric.com.
Don't let pain hold you back from living your best life. I'm Dr. Jason Gerrit with Arasti. At Arasti, we're dedicated to providing fast, effective relief from pain. Whether you've been dealing with a chronic discomfort for years or have recently suffered an injury, our goal is to help you recover quickly. Our treatment is all natural, non-invasive, and covered by most insurance plans. With convenient locations nearby, relief is just a call away. Visit Arasti.com. That's AIRROSTI.com. Arasti, we fix pain fast.
All right, guys, summer is coming. You could hit the gym, but you're probably going to say, I'll start next Monday. Here's what you need to do. You need to get M-Sculpt Neo from Dr. Connie Hires. It burns fat, builds muscle, and tightens up your abs, your arms, even your butt and your legs. And guess what? She can do it, too. Couples who sculpt together, well, call 210-494-8446 or go to findyourbeautiful.com. FindYourBeautiful.com, because Dad Bod season is officially over, and Dr. Connie Hires is here to help you get ready for summer.
The moment you find out you're pregnant can be very exciting. Knowing what to do and how to get started can also be overwhelming. Healthy Start is here to help you know what to expect. You should see your doctor in the first trimester to reduce the risk of a premature birth and for a healthy pregnancy. Healthy Start is a free program that offers support and resources while you're pregnant and for your baby's first 2 years of life. For more information, call us at 210-207-4725. Get the help you need to give your baby a healthy start.
Hi, my name is Jason Thompson. I'm an attorney here in San Antonio where I've practiced for more than 30 years. And San Antonio has really grown since I started practicing law. The risk of injury in a car crash today is greater than it's ever been, because every day we're forced to share our roads with 80,000-pound 18-wheelers and some truly dangerous drivers. If you or a family member is injured in a car crash, know this. The insurance companies are mobilized against you. They have highly trained adjusters and a long roster of attorneys with one job: pay as little as possible. Their techniques are extensive, and I believe you have zero chance of obtaining a fair recovery on your own. If you're involved in a car crash, you need to hire an attorney as soon as possible after the collision and before you speak to the insurance company's adjusters. Now, I do not have a comic book nickname. I do not call myself the Law Eagle, the Tiger Lawyer, the Law Chupacabra. I think the practice of law needs to be taken more seriously. If you've been injured, call me, Jason Thompson, for a free consultation. My number is 210-900-0400. That's 210-900-0400, or my website, alawyerforus.com.
Welcome to AT&T. How can I help?
Hey, I thought I could trust my twins with my phone, but they outnumber me, man.
Whoa, that's a lot of glitter paint. Let's trade
lives.
At AT&T, everyone can trade in an old or glittered iPhone any year, any condition, and save on a new iPhone. Ask how to get iPhone 16 Pro on us. New and existing customers. Savings vary by device and trade-in combinations. Restrictions apply. See att.com for details. AT&T. Connecting changes everything.
Lowe's knows that your deadlines don't change, even when your job does. But with Lowe's Buy Online, Pick Up in Store, we'll help you adjust on the fly. And when you absolutely can't leave the project, we can deliver to your job site as soon as same day. Lowe's knows pros. We help, you save. Valid on eligible in-stock orders and select zip codes placed by 2 p.m. for same-day delivery by 8 p.m. Subject to driver availability. Fees vary based on purchase. More terms apply. See Lowe's.com/same-day delivery for details.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star Traffic from News Talk 550 KTSA.
Good morning. We've got a couple of new trouble spots. A wreck at 281 northbound approaching 46. And then Loop 410 eastbound McCullough. That wreck is taking up 2 right lanes. Still have this ongoing road work at 35 southbound Olympia Parkway to 1604. It's an hour delay, about 60 minutes. All that gets by is the left lane, so start moving over. 151 eastbound, that connector to Loop 410. We've got an accident. The connector ramp partially blocked. I'm Debbie Alcacer, KTSA Time Saver Traffic.
San Antonio Sports Center.
The Spurs fell last night to the Dallas Mavericks, 133-129. They were paced by Harrison Barnes, 29, and Devin Vassell's 24. The Spurs have given up 274 points in their last 2 games. The Dallas Cowboys did make a move. They added Broncos running back Javonte Williams on a 1-year, $3 million deal. I'm Rob Thompson for 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Sports Center is brought to you by Buyers Barricades, the Texas authority in barricade rental. BuyersBarricades.com.
From the studios of San Antonio Sports Star, reaching more sports fans than any station in South Texas. Welcome to the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson. This is 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Number 3 of the Morning Huddle, 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. We're going to play a little game.
Shall we?
Yeah.
Play a game.
I've been here now for a little over 10 months, if you can believe it.
It was in May, right? Is that when
May
you started?
1st is when I started here. And so I've done my best to share my life with the audience. And now we're going to see how well you've been paying attention to old AJ. I've got a pair of tickets to Six Flags over Texas.
Name the Six Flags.
Spring break at Six Flags Fiesta, Texas. Okay. And I'm going to give away a pair today. I might give away a pair tomorrow. I might give away a pair the next day. I might do it all week long. We'll see how that goes. But you're going to have to know something about me, and it's information that I've given out on this radio station. Let's do, you know what, today we'll start with something easy, something recent, Vic.
Okay.
First person to call in, and by the way, the phone number, 210-656-ESPN, 210-656-3776. The first person to call in and tell Vic the name of my favorite Madonna song. Oh my God. You get to go to spring break at Six Flags Fiesta, Texas.
Little pro tip, I live out there. When you go, and you will be going all week, I saw it starting yesterday.
Okay.
People coming up I-10, your Google Maps, your Apple Maps, your Waze, they're going to tell you to exit on La Cantera. Don't. Don't.
Okay.
You'll get stuck at that stoplight
forever.
4 or 5 cycles.
No.
Skip that exit. Go to the next exit. Go to the Camp Bullis exit.
And then you
make the turnaround and come back and zip right in to Fiesta, Texas, while all those other suckers are stuck in traffic for the next 45 minutes. Trust me, I drive by there every day. Skip the La Cantera exit, go to the Camp Bullis exit, and just make the turnaround and come back. It'll save you 30 minutes.
That's a pro tip.
You can thank me later.
You know who never told me that? Debbie, the traffic lady. She never told me.
Well, she's got more important things to worry about.
I guess so.
85-minute delays on 35 South at 8 o'clock on the morning on Tuesday.
I guess so.
That's something to worry about.
Now, Vic, you know my favorite Madonna song, right? Don't let somebody give you the wrong one. I don't want someone saying Vogue or something terrible like that.
Should we use the right one or the one that's most appropriate?
Yeah, I've got a new one that's based on my life now. We got a winner? All right, good. Someone know. How well do you know your radio host?
Or hose.
Who's our winner, Vic? Who do we got? He's going to let us know here.
I'm really.
It's Keno.
Keno?
Yeah.
Congratulations,
Keno.
Tino. Okay,
yeah,
even
sorry.
better. Tino.
Yeah.
See, Claymore knows. He put it up in the Brigade Bar. Like a Prayer, the greatest Madonna song ever, by far, is Like a Prayer. Maybe we'll play it later on today. But there you go. Tino's our first winner of How Well Do You Know Your New Radio Host. And again, he'll be going to Six Flags Fiesta, Texas. Spring break at Six Flags. Be sure to be locked into San Antonio Sports Star for your spring break getaway to Six Flags Fiesta, Texas on us.
I thought it was Lucky Star. I was wrong.
Nope, you would have been wrong, Rob. You would have been wrong. I've got some. I'm going to get a little more personal tomorrow. I'm going to get a little deeper.
Oh, gosh.
We're going to get a little deeper. How well do you know your new radio pal, AJ?
Cerebral's really working out for you.
Thank you.
You're really sharing now.
Thank you. I'm a sharer. I am a sharer.
That's your truth.
The San Antonio Spurs last night, I guess mission accomplished?
Yeah. That was mission accomplished, all right.
Yeah, they made it.
If your mission was to look like an 8th grade girls team, you did it. Success.
They made it intriguing for a while, and at the end of the day, they lost the game.
Yeah, and you can say that literally. You lost the game.
As 7-point favorites, mind you, which, again, we both talked about. Like, how can the Spurs be 7-point favorites? We know what they're doing.
We warned you.
That's crazy. Yeah, this is it was I don't want to say it wasn't the best effort. We could say that.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
There was thoughts that Steph Castle might not play. He ended up playing, and from what I saw, I kind of wish that he wouldn't have. If he was banged up, I would have said, just take.
He was active.
Anybody who's banged up at this point in the season, just take the year off. You're good. That's why De'Aaron Fox, come on, bro. We know. You're all right. We don't worry about. We'll be fine. We can do this without you, bub. You go rest up, get your hand iced down, stitched up, whatever the hell you got to do with it. But the bigger problem was, first of all, the Spurs lost on a night where they shot 42% from three. That means for the second game in a row, the defensive effort was just abysmal because the Spurs don't shoot 42% from three and lose very often because that's what I say all the time. If they can do that, yeah, be a shooting team. I like it when you're a three-point shooting team when you can finally shoot a decent percentage. Spurs almost never shoot this well, and they still lost. And to me, it boiled down to they didn't really give much effort on the defensive end.
They've given up 274 points in the last 2 games.
I mean, Spencer Dinwiddie looked like Michael Jordan. That can't happen.
It was there's such a comedy of mistake-filled, apathetic defense, lazy one-dribble offense, no help at all on defense. This is all about buckets. There is no concept of team defense. They're not on a string. It's just last night in the closeout of the game when they felt like they had a chance. And keep in mind, there's only 2 teams in the world that they'd had a chance against last night, and one of them was the Mavericks.
Yeah.
And when they did,
this was a tie game going into the fourth quarter,
and they'd been down most of the game, so Dallas inepts themselves into a close game. And with about a minute and a half to go, there's the Spurs have the ball on offense, and I think they probably pulled 3 offensive rebounds down on this one possession, but it was just a comedy of awkward tips and just a mess. And Keldon grabs the ball and gets an and one put back and stomps off the court like he's done something. And it was just they're finding joy in the wrong things. I mean, they're celebrating accidents and effort. I get it, but that was not a professional attempt at winning a basketball game last night.
Well, how about this? Maybe stomp around like King Kong when you hit free throws. 14 of 24 from the free throw line?
Well, first of all...
And you lose by 4.
It was unacceptable in so many different ways. And I love the way Harrison Barnes played. And that's the good thing about these kind of games is you get little nugget performances from guys that you don't expect. And Harrison just continues to show up and do his job and spread the floor and make the threes. And he's the reason they shot 40%. It was Harrison Barnes. Devin helped, but the fact is one guy was hot.
Well, Keldon was hot, too.
And Keldon busted his butt, and he has submitted himself in effort, but my goodness. I remember a couple of years ago, the Houston Rockets were chock full of talent, and they didn't have a coach. And they would just roll out 5 dudes, and they'd go play for 48 minutes, and, they'd confuse activity for effort and run around and think they were getting better, and they'd lose by 5 when it was you're worse today than you were yesterday. Even though you were close in the game, you didn't play a good game. You played a terrible team. Yeah. And that's what happened last night. They played a team whose best player is 40 years old. I mean, Klay Thompson is the best guy they can roll out. That is literally their best guy. And we let them score 133 points.
Yeah.
There's losing, there's trying to lose, and then there's this comedy of effort last night, which it's so chaotic. There's nothing positive to be gained from that. No, there's no positive for Steph Castle. There's no, he got better at this. There was none of that.
Kessler Edwards, and you may be saying, who the hell's Kessler Edwards? And that'd be a reasonable thing to ask because through the first 3 months of the season, Kessler Edwards had less than 30 minutes of time on the basketball court. Kessler Edwards is scoring 3.6 points per game this season for Dallas. And Kessler Edwards last night scored 22 points on 9 of 12 shooting and had 11 rebounds. These are guys who are like the fringest of even being on an NBA roster, and they're just having field days against you. Like, they made Kessler Edwards look like LeBron James. That's embarrassing.
You played a team that had 8 guys,
people available.
4 of them got over 20.
Yeah.
4 of them got over 20. The likes of Kessler Edwards. Or Edwards.
Quit trying to claim him. He's not one of yours. You already got a Clay.
Najee Marshall ripped you for 23.
Made up person.
Yeah. Kessler Edwards, that's a law firm. I don't know. It's just unfathomable what we saw last night. And it was kind of the sum total of a coach who was playing out the string. I can't imagine that De'Aaron Fox will not be in hospital garb in the next 10 days. I can't imagine that's not imminent.
It's such a waste. And the Spurs play the Mavericks tomorrow. I don't know if I expect anything different.
They're going to get the back-to-back push just because Dallas has been here for a couple of days, and they're going to have a couple of gorditas down on the river, and they're going to lose this one just because they don't have any desire to win either. We'll get that one, but when the team came in to get the one they wanted, they got it. 8 dudes got it.
Yeah. So, and you know what? The Mavs are kudos to them. They're showing some fight. I don't know that they should be. They probably should just roll over and die, but they're still as things sit today, they're still in the play-in spot.
They beat us and scored 133 points, 32 in the fourth quarter, with Najee Marshall, Kessler Edwards, Klay Thompson, Dante Exum in his one leg and Max Christie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Spencer Dinwiddie,
he's
incredible off the bench.
Yes, they got that. There's only one player or two players with a negative plus-minus on the whole round. Well, I guess of the 8, that's about right.
Yeah.
Thorough ass whipping, and a coach that witnesses that. I don't know if you just walk out of the locker room, do you yell at him? What do you do? What do you do when you get your ass handed to you 2 consecutive nights?
It's so weird because this is like, if there were ever a year to only let like 6 teams in from each conference into the playoffs, this would be it. Because it really feels like there are so many teams who have no interest in continuing to play this season. Like, teams don't want to be in the play-in. The Mavericks don't want to be in the play-in round.
It's purgatory.
Yes. I mean, we've talked all season long about, like, the Bulls and the Hawks. Like, are they playoff caliber teams? No. But in the Eastern Conference, like, it's hard to be worse than Brooklyn, Philly, Toronto, Charlotte, and Washington. And that's the 5 that are right now on the outside. You've got to be worse than one of those. How can you do it?
You can't. That's why the Spurs, when you have these opportunities to play well and to win, go do it.
Yeah.
You're not going to catch the other guys.
Yeah, and we're now starting to get to teams are clinching playoff spots. Teams are clinching elimination. The Utah Jazz clinched elimination last night.
Good for them.
The Jazz are eliminated from playoff contention at 15-50. They don't have a chance to make the playoffs. So very unfortunate ending to a promising season for the Jazz.
They understood the assignment and executed well.
They will have ping pong balls. All right, we'll talk about what happened in college hoops yesterday. It is the Morning Huddle on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. I got to tell you about Cerebral. You got to make time to work on yourself every now and again, and that's where Cerebral comes in. They understand that everybody's got a lot of stuff going on. Everybody is seeing all the terrible things on social media. It's hard to not get down in the dumps about some things. But instead of worrying about all that stuff that you don't really have control over, what if you spent 45 minutes just focused on you and what you can control? And Cerebral, they want to make it easier than ever to access dedicated therapists, doctor-prescribed medication, personalized to you so you can fix you. And once you do that, I'm telling you, man, it really can change your life. The best part about it, they offer in-network care so you can focus on feeling better without worrying about the cost of therapy. If you're dealing with stress, anxiety, you're dealing with a life transition, you want to just improve your relationship, you want to improve your sleep habits, talking to someone can really go a long way. Cerebral makes mental health care easy, accessible, and more affordable. They work with your insurance plan, helping to lower the cost of care so more people can get the support they need. They're also a proud official sponsor of the San Antonio Spurs. Just like athletes prioritize physical health, mental health is just as important, and Cerebral's here to help you build a strong foundation for your overall well-being. Take the first step today. Visit Cerebral.com to see how affordable and accessible mental health care can be with your insurance. Cerebral, make time for mind time.
Ready for the ultimate sports fan getaway? 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star is headed to Vegas, and we're bringing you along. Why? Because watching the games from your couch in sweatpants just isn't the same. Join Jason and Joe from the Blitz for a mega March weekend you'll never forget or possibly remember. We're talking Vegas here. March 27th through the 30th, we're hitting up Circa Las Vegas for opening day. And the second weekend of the tournament, a.k.a. Sports Heaven, baby. Thursday, March 27th, the party starts with baseball's opening day at the world's largest sports book. That's right, big screens, big games, and big opinions from Jason and Joe. It's basically like watching sports at home, but with no chores and way more pools. Speaking of pools, dive into 6 of them at Stadium Swim and catch all the action on a 143-foot screen. Lock in now. Go to CircaLasVegas.com. Use promo code BLITZ and party with Jason and Joe at Circa Resort and Casino. Sports, pools, Vegas. What could possibly go wrong?
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today?
I need new rotors.
When you buy 2 Duralast rotors during our spring sale, you get Duralast brake pads free.
Free?
With the rotors.
Well, that's great. What if I need extra stopping power?
You can upgrade to Duralast Gold pads for just $10.
So Duralast pads are free?
Yep.
And an upgrade is just $10?
That's right, part of the spring sale at AutoZone.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
Don't you wish your life came with a warning app?
Stop. That dog does not want to be petted.
Just a little heads up before something bad happens.
Move your coffee cup away from your computer.
Oh, no. So you can have more control.
Stop. You're texting your boss by mistake.
Uh-oh. Well, life doesn't always give you time to change the outcome, but prediabetes does. With early diagnosis and a few healthy changes like managing your weight, getting active, stopping smoking, and eating healthier, you can stop prediabetes before it leads to type 2 diabetes. It's easy to learn your risk. Take the 1-minute test today at doihaveprediabetes.org.
Warning. The cap is loose on that ketchup.
Ugh. Don't wait. You have the power to change the outcome. Visit doihaveprediabetes.org today. That's doihaveprediabetes.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and its prediabetes awareness partners.
When I wake up
The best mornings
in the morning light,
start with Wrangler.
I pull on my jeans and I feel alright.
Jeans, jackets, and shirts that get your day started. Good mornings make for better days. Wrangler, for the ride of life.
The following is a dramatization.
Davis Law Firm, how can I help?
Hi, I got hurt in a wreck, but I don't know if it's really worth getting an attorney.
Don't worry, you called the right place.
I'm Jeff Davis. At Davis Law Firm, we're here for you 24/7, and you don't pay unless we win. We recently secured a jury verdict for $210 million in a wrongful death case. So if you've been hurt, call us at 444-4444.
Davis Law Firm, San Antonio.
Still getting around to that fix on your car? You got this. On eBay, you'll find millions of parts, guaranteed to fit. Doesn't matter if it's a major engine repair or your first time swapping your windshield wipers. eBay has that part you need, ready to click perfectly into place for changes big and small. Loud or quiet, find all the parts you need at prices you'll love, guaranteed to fit every time. But you already know that. eBay, things, people, love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Some people just know they could save hundreds on car insurance by checking Allstate first at 888-ALLSTATE or allstate.com. Like you know to check you have gas first before road tripping through the desert.
Empty? Seriously? Maybe I can walk.
Yeah, checking first is smart. So if you want to save money, check Allstate first at 888-ALLSTATE or allstate.com.
Maybe I can't.
You're in good hands with Allstate.
Savings vary. Terms apply. Allstate Fire and Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
I had the worst dream last night. You were in a car crash, and the kids and I were on our own. We had to move out of the house because I couldn't afford it anymore.
That's awful, hon.
My brother got life insurance from Ethos, and it only took 10 minutes. And he got $2 million in coverage for around $2 a day. It's all online. No medical exam. He just answered a few health questions right from his house.
Ethos, here we come.
Visit ethos.com/sports. Ethos.com/sports.
Sample rate is a 10-year term life policy for 35-year-old healthy, non-smoking male. Billed monthly.
It's The Blitz with Jason and Joe. Afternoons at 2.
Coming up on The Blitz, the NFL free agent frenzy continues. How about those Cowboys? What are they thinking?
Well, crickets, and we'll talk crickets with Shireen Williams. She'll join us at 5:15.
And the Texans, how do they rework that offensive line?
The Blitz starts at 2.
The Blitz with Jason and Joe. Afternoons at 2 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. It's the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson.
There's some 311 on 311 day. A dream of you. Have you ever made out in a dark hallway? Oh. You say? Congratulations. All right. Know that we've always been down.
Yeah.
Let's do this. Let's give away a couple more 4-packs to the Gunslingers and the Tulsa Oilers. The home opener for the Gunslingers, March 22nd at Freeman Coliseum. We've got a family 4-pack. Let's go with callers number 2 and 6. Vic, 2 and 6.
Got it. 2 and 6.
Yep. I randomly selected those numbers. Can you tell? I mean, it's just you probably thought that I had those picked the whole time, but I didn't. I
thought it was going to be
And
caller.
I thought you were just going to go prime numbers, and you didn't.
I didn't.
I thought you were going to go caller 3 and caller 11.
No. Oh, that would have been good, but no, I didn't think about that. I'm not that clever, unfortunately. We did get a couple of tickets punched last night to the NCAA tournament, Rob, and we've got more.
Well, we're getting the championships are winding down for those early ones, and the big time tournaments are starting today. So.
Yes. Well, if you consider the ACC a big time tournament,
There's big time schools doing big time things in the ACC, just not doing it on the basketball court.
Not very many of them are doing any.
I love this time of year because I love watching the promotional videos for the individual universities. You get a good taste of the school when they tell you what they're about. I look forward to come to this school because we love doing that.
That's
and
right.
This and good-looking kids doing fun things.
The auto qualifiers so far, we've got Troy got into the field last night with a win over Arkansas State.
That was an upset.
Went on like a 20-0 run or something, and just buried them late.
I don't think that affects Texas because every in and out from here on out affects Texas. I think they're right there watching. Is everything going chalk? We hope so. We might get in that way, but Troy did not help them.
No. Although not a second team wasn't going to come from the Sun Belt.
No,
anyway.
I'm just saying. But whenever you don't go chalk, the Longhorns want number 1 seeds to win every tournament.
Yeah, but like I said, the Sun Belt, whoever won it was going to get in. There was never going to be
big league.
Yeah.
I agree, but you don't want the trend to go toward upsets.
Right. The Omaha Mavericks are in the tournament. The Wofford Terriers won the SoCon last night. They are in. The High Point Panthers are in the tournament.
Watched a little bit of that game.
The Drake Bulldogs, as we mentioned yesterday, won the MVC.
They're a sleeper. Watch them.
And the Lipscomb Bisons. That's right. Bisons with an S. The Lipscomb Bisons.
Wait a minute. Is that grammatically incorrect?
I think it is.
Unless there's an apostrophe and it becomes possessive?
I believe so. And Lipscomb is a tiny, tiny little school in Nashville, Tennessee.
They've got a history of basketball. They play ball there. They've been in the tournament before.
Have they?
Yeah.
I'm surprised to hear that. I don't know. I can't.
I sent a kid there about 8 years ago.
Did you?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah. Lipscomb. In my mind, it's like, they weren't ever a tournament team, but I guess they have been.
Mm-hmm.
But they win the Atlantic Sun with a win over North Alabama. So we'll see if there is more of that today, more AQs today. But again, the important thing is the premier tournaments are getting underway. Although the WCC, the championship is tonight. Gonzaga and St. Mary's should be a good game.
Yeah.
That'll be at 8 o'clock our time here on ESPN, but that'll decide the champion of the West Coast Conference.
Isn't St. Mary's favored in this?
Gonzaga's favored.
Really?
Yeah. Although, even though Gonzaga's favored, even though St. Mary's has beaten them twice this year already, and St. Mary's put a whopping on Pepperdine last night. Pepperdine, God bless them. They were an underdog in the first 3 games of that tournament. It's like one of those impossible ladders. Like, St. Mary's and Gonzaga both played their first conference tournament games yesterday. Pepperdine had already played 3 because they were one of the very bottom seeds, and like the tournament adds in 2 new teams every round. And Pepperdine beat Portland as an underdog. Then they beat Oregon State as an underdog. Then they beat Santa Clara as an underdog. And then they ran into St. Mary's, their 4th game in 4 days, and St. Mary's just bodied them, even though St. Mary's fouled up 17 to let Pepperdine go over their team total, which was a kick in my balls yesterday. Thanks a lot, St. Mary's. But, yeah, that's probably the game of the day is St. Mary's and Gonzaga. Nichols and Lamar get after it tonight in the Southland. That's not a final, but it's the Southland tournament going. The America East tournament, the NEC, the Northeast Conference is going. The RIP to the season for Incarnate Word. They went down last night. They're done for the year. I don't have to eat my hat, luckily. And I believe the WAC championship is tonight as well. That's Utah Tech and Southern Utah. If I'm not mistaken, I believe that's the finals are tonight. But the ACC tournament, Big 12 tournament, both getting underway. Big 12, we got Central Florida, Utah, Arizona State, Kansas State, and Cincinnati, Oklahoma State. In the ACC, we've got Pitt, Notre Dame. That's going to start the day. Woof. That's your start to the conference tournament day. Syracuse, Florida State. Woof. And Cal, Virginia Tech. Woof.
I think this could be Leonard Hamilton's last game.
I think it probably should be. You talk about Florida State and Miami, two programs that have just fallen off the map. I mean, Miami wasn't even they didn't even qualify for the ACC tournament.
Well, consider the two coaches, Larinaga and Leonard Hamilton, both in their 70s, not willing to play the game, and it reflected on the makeup of their team. If you're not going to play the game, you're not going to recruit.
Yeah, and so we'll see if Leonard Hamilton. I don't know where he's at. I don't know where Florida State's at with him.
He's retiring. He's done.
I can't imagine. Oh, is he? He's already said that.
His retirement. He's done.
I don't know what they're going to do at head coach then, but they've built an identity with him that I knew as soon as players started getting paid, he was going to have a hard time keeping players with that identity.
Yeah, and he recruited pros. He turned guys into NBA players.
Well, you know why? And he was never going to turn guys into sexy pros.
No.
He takes guys who had some talent and worked their asses off and really kind of took guys who, if they didn't up their game defensively, they were probably not going to make it as pros. And he would work with them so hard on defense that they would. I mean, you could see massive improvement in his players, but he's just got a style that's hard to. It's hard to get guys to want to play. It's hard to get guys want to sign up to play. And for whatever reason, I don't think of Florida State as like Sisters of the Poor.
No,
but they really seem to be struggling with NIL.
That's what I'm saying.
I don't get it.
With Hamilton and Larinaga, both schools that have the funds that could have easily played the NIL game, they didn't want to play that game. They wanted to go the old school. We'll find you, we'll develop you, and if you're really good, you'll be a pro. That should be enough, and it's not. And Hamilton and Larinaga both quit mid-season when it became very apparent that if you don't play the game, the tide turns overnight.
Yeah.
It went from good to awful.
Larinaga was in a Final Four 2 years ago.
Yeah, I mean, literally overnight, the things go south if you're not going to play that game.
Congratulations to William and Daniel, our two big winners. They're going to see the Gunslingers take on the Oilers. Tulsa Oilers.
I hate those guys.
I hate the Tulsa Oilers.
I hate them.
They are my least favorite team in that league.
They smell bad, too.
Well, they're from Oklahoma.
Yeah, they stink.
Yeah. And even those who weren't born and raised in Oklahoma, as soon as they get there, you start to have an odor to you.
Smelling of red dirt.
You start to have an odor to you. It's really unfortunate.
Like rodeo dirt.
That's right. Yeah, recycled rodeo dirt.
True.
I always think of stinky dirt. I don't remember what year it was, but I went to ACL, and they had done Zilker Park with this stuff called Dillo dirt.
Uh-huh.
It was a way that they thought they could preserve, because people in Austin, of course, were bitching about how ACL messes up the grass at Zilker Park.
So let's put a bunch of powdered poop all over the ground.
Yeah, that's what Dillo dirt was basically, it was just poop.
And then we had a windstorm.
No, we had
Was it rain?
Rainstorm.
We had one of the most massive downpours in the history of Austin, Texas. And so for a full weekend, people are just tromping around. Like I was covered in poop from like the bottom of my foot to my waist. Like that's how it was just everywhere.
That's just another day.
And it was everyone. I mean, if you try, that was back before ACL. Like ACL now is like it's more of an event.
It's corporate.
Back then, ACL was still like it was still
getting there.
It was still a rock
concert.
It was a rock show, yeah. And so people weren't showing up in their they're Gucci, like they do now. People were showing up dressed for a festival, so it wasn't a disaster. Now imagine these people showing up with their designer bags and stuff like that and getting poop all over them. They get their hair and makeup done to go to ACL.
I spent a lot of time at the last ACL at the Aperol Spritz booth.
Bro.
You talk about going corporate.
Times have changed, man.
Buckets of Lone Star. Now, I think I'll have an Aperol Spritz as I take in the machine.
Really changed. That's
too bougie.
All right, I got to tell you about Carbach. That's what I'd be drinking at ACL. I don't know if you can still even get it there. And probably say, no Carbach for you, AJ. You got to drink this. We're only serving champagne today. But I'm not a champagne guy. I'm a Carbach man. And Carbach's got something for everyone's taste, whether you like an IPA, like a Hopadillo, the very hop-forward, in-your-face version, their flagship IPA, or you want something a little more balanced. The Hoplectic is their seasonal that's out now. It is all over town, and it is fantastic. Really tasty beer. And if you don't go for IPAs like Rob's dad, no big deal. They've got something for him, too. They've got the Love Street, which is their Kolsch-style blonde ale. It's a really easy drinker, really good intro beer for craft, and it's their best seller. That's what everybody seems to love. And, of course, I'm a big fan of the Bachs. I like Crawford Bach. I like Ziegen Bach. I think you get a good quality beer with both of those. Good any day, anytime sort of drinkers. You can find them, like I said, all over the city, HEBs, liquor stores, but you can also find them in a bunch of bars and restaurants, probably places that you wouldn't even think that they had. They are there. So when you're out and about, you're doing your thing, go ahead and ask the bartender, please make it a Carbach.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star traffic from News Talk 550 KTSA.
Good morning. As you head into your commute, we are working a few trouble spots. 281 northbound approaching 46. Comal County, Spring Branch area. Accident has you slow from Bulverde Road, so tag on at least an extra 10 minutes to your commute. Loop 410 eastbound McCullough, accident with 2 right lanes blocked. 7-8 minute delay slow from Honeysuckle. On 35 southbound, that's road work. Olympia Parkway on down to 1604. All that gets by is the left lane, so start moving over. It's causing about a 40-minute delay slow from Engel. And 151 eastbound, that connector to Loop 410. We've got an accident, connector ramp partially blocked. I'm Debbie Alcacer, KTSA Time Saver Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Allstate. Some people just know you could save money on car insurance by checking Allstate first. Those people are probably saving a carload of cash right now. So what are you waiting for? Check Allstate first for a quote today. You're in good hands with Allstate.
The Blitz is going to Vegas. Come along for an unforgettable Mega March weekend at Circa Las Vegas, March 27th through the 30th for opening day and the second weekend of the tournament. Thursday, March 27th, celebrate the start of the baseball season and watch all the games at the world's largest sports book, plus the ultimate March Hoops experience. Take in the action in the 6 pools and the 143-foot screen at Stadium Swim. Book now and use promo code BLITZ at circalasvegas.com. And join Jason and Joe at Circa Resort and Casino.
Wow! Most cars and trucks can get premium ceramic window film installed by the experts at Mother's Window Tint, starting at just $199. Don't wait! Protect your ride today. Our competitors charge hundreds more, but at Mother's, you get the best quality and value. Call now or visit motherswindowtint.com to schedule your installation. With up to 60 different film options, we've got the perfect fit for every car and budget. Stop by one of our locations and see the difference for yourself. Want to boost your vehicle's security? We've got you covered with advanced systems starting at just $399. Call 210-213-2118 today and ask about our alarm specials. Since 1984, we've been the home of the tint and alarm special. Don't wait. Visit Mother's Window Tint today. Call now or go online to book your service. Your car deserves it. Mother's Window Tint. Since 1984. Call or visit motherswindowtint.com. That's motherswindowtint.com. And remember, do it at Mother's and save.
The moment you find out you're pregnant can be very exciting. Knowing what to do and how to get started can also be overwhelming. Healthy Start is here to help you know what to expect. You should see your doctor in the first trimester to reduce the risk of a premature birth and for a healthy pregnancy. Healthy Start is a free program that offers support and resources while you're pregnant and for your baby's first 2 years of life. For more information, call us at 210-207-4725. Get the help you need to give your baby a healthy start.
Build your business with a partner you can trust. The Home Depot. When you join Pro Extra, you get lower than shelf pricing and dedicated support to help you streamline your business and stay on budget. Get dedicated pro support for supply sourcing, custom orders, large equipment rentals, and more. At the Home Depot, we supply the support your job needs with the level of service your business deserves. The Home Depot, how pros get more done.
Things are just better when you switch to Cricket. The sun shines a little brighter. Happy music starts randomly playing. Best of all, you can get iPhone 13 for just $29.99. With the ultra-bright Super Retina display and up to 19 hours of video playback, all on Cricket's super-fast 5G network. See? Isn't that better? Smile, you're on Cricket.
Requires new account and ported on $60 plan. First service charge, tax due at sale. $25 activation fee. Terms and restrictions apply. Cricket 5G is not available everywhere. See store for details.
George gets justice. When you've been injured, you need to get George Salinas Injury Lawyers because you need someone who understands your pain and the impact an accident has on your life. You need someone who listens and is always there fighting for you and your future. When you get George Salinas Injury Lawyers, you get all this and more. If you've been injured, it's time to get George. And remember, you won't pay anything unless they win your case. Call George Salinas at 210-225-0909. George gets justice. GetGeorge.com.
It's the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
Good morning, everybody. We're wrapping up the third hour of the program. It's an exciting time, this college basketball. I'm glad that the college basketball is exciting because the NBA is just not doing it for me right now.
Well, top end, it's great. I mean, we did get a Denver OKC game last night. That was kind of a place setter. Everybody's kind of setting their measures, seeing where they are at this time of the year. So if you're in tune with the playoff edge, that upper half, there's some great games. But unfortunately, that's only about 8 of the 30 teams that are playing. So the other 22 are not thrilling at all.
The Lakers, now mind you, the Lakers were without LeBron, obviously. They were without their starting center, Jackson Hayes. They were without Rui Hachimura, another starter for them. They were without their sixth man, Dorian Finney-Smith. But
still, you don't lose to
you lost
Brooklyn.
To the Nets.
You don't lose to Brooklyn.
And they had not only that, they had like a 15-point lead.
Luke had a triple-double.
Yeah. And, boy, you could tell J.J. Redick was not thrilled.
It's the first time I've seen him mad all year.
Well, you can't be mad at LeBron.
Well,
that's not allowed. It's in his contract. And then now LeBron's not there, so he can be like, this is
you guys
garbage.
Suck.
This is garbage. What we're getting here is garbage.
And it was obvious that defensively, that it would just, without Jackson Hayes and without LeBron, and you talked about everybody else, that it just wasn't there. And he was really upset with the execution on defensive, on how they were playing pick and rolls. They got embarrassed last night. There's just no getting around it.
But it does tell you, man, that this LeBron, whatever you think of the guy,
prove your value.
Be gone for a day, and look at what happens. You're the 2 seed in the West. You leave for a day,
and you lose to the Nets.
You lose to the Nets. Boy, that is an impact, if there is one. Elsewhere in the NBA last night, the Hawks took care of the Sixers. No surprise. Celtics. Kind of tougher than expected matchup with the Jazz.
Ended up at 6 points. I didn't see the end. I have a feeling it was probably a big lead that kind of coasted to the finish.
Charlotte beat the Heat. Charlotte.
Now, before we go much further past this, now Utah has achieved the goal.
You've been eliminated.
They have been eliminated, and they're neck and neck for the most ping pong balls, but they're going to be in the bottom 4, and that's really all you want.
Yeah.
So as we head closer to the end of the season, pay close attention to Utah. I expect them to actually win some games now, much like the Spurs did last year. When one's financially and completely out of it, they kind of cut some guys loose. So pay attention to Utah. Might make some money on the end of the season with them.
That's actually a good point. That's exactly what the Spurs did last night. The Memphis Grizzlies got a 2-point win over the Phoenix Suns, and Cam Spencer said whatever he said to Kevin Durant pissed Kevin Durant off, and then I think Cam Spencer, probably not the kind of guy who fights his own fights. So Desmond Bane was more than willing to get between Cam Spencer and Kevin Durant, who Kevin Durant can't fight anyway. Kevin Durant is the biggest he does the most posturing of a guy who I would bet $1 million can't squash a grape. Like, he's just – but he wants to project, I'm this big bad dude. And Desmond Bane got in his face, led with the forehead, and backed KD right off. And then said,
hey, you want some?
Don't talk to my boy Cam Spencer that way. Cam Spencer, boy, he looks like Harry Potter, and he's out there just clowning on KD.
I remember him when he transferred, when he got to UConn, and what Hurley turned him into.
Yeah.
That wasn't a dude that was going to run it against anybody, much less Kevin Durant. But I guess you had a shot like that. I'd have talked a little bit too, but respect to Cam Spencer.
Yeah.
Own it.
Yeah,
it's easy to, I guess, when Bane's standing behind you.
You got a team generally full of tough guys. It's all right if you're, you're Harry Potter and you're talking smack.
I tell you what, I put that over the mantle. Me and KD going at it.
I think that's the move. Yeah. A little.
I'm reading a headline from Memphis. Psycho Cam Spencer provides Memphis Grizzlies with needed jolt.
Cam Spencer. Nobody's really talking about his rookie season. How's he been this year?
He's a shooter. I mean, that's what he hadn't played a whole lot.
No, I guess not. Last night was the first night he's played meaningful minutes. That's probably why. His minute count has been since February 21st, 0-0-0-0-5, 0-2-0-0 20 last night.
I bet he's been late. What's Memphis's G League team? I bet he's getting buckets.
They're from the Memphis Hustle.
I bet the Hustle, he's getting buckets there.
That's right. Yeah, he bounced around a bunch of schools, but he did become a weapon once he got to UConn.
Yeah.
He was at Loyola.
I don't remember him there.
And then he was at Rutgers.
When he was at Rutgers, then he went to UConn and got themselves some wins.
Yep. So that was good performance by him. It's always nice when these random dudes show up and a dude who never plays shows up, beats Kevin Durant, barks in his face. And Kevin Durant's like, man, what the?
I thought you were a ball boy.
Yeah.
When you checked in, I thought you were holding a mop.
I forget who it was, who in the NFL said this, but it was somebody who was like, turn around so I can see your number. I don't know you, bro. I forget who said that, but God.
Oh, yeah.
That was one of my favorite quotes when he said, turn around so I can see your number. I don't know you.
I don't know you, bro.
Let me see your number.
Step back.
That's what KD should have said that to Cam Spencer. I'm guaranteeing if you didn't watch college basketball the last couple of years when Cam Spencer was winning titles, you don't know who Cam Spencer. You're like, who is this goofy white boy talking smack to KD after draining one over him? That gave me a laugh last night. Gave me a little giggle. The NBA tonight.
Yeah.
Again, I'm trying to find the positive in these games. There's not a matchup on the card tonight that I'm interested in.
This is when you look at the matchups, you go, now you kind of fully understand the witchcraft of schedule making, because it's a pretty light week in the NBA. There's a lot of also-rans that are matched up this week, and they knew full well that most of our attention is going to be focused on college basketball. So we're not missing a whole lot. We'll get a couple. There's a good one on Saturday, I think, but there's not a lot of great ones.
The TNT game, and this is the only, when I read you the other three games, you'll say this is the only possible option that they would want to put on TV. The Bucks are at the Pacers. Your other three games, Cleveland hosting the Nets.
Ooh. The Nets are on fire, man.
Okay, I'm guessing they're Cleveland's an 18.5-point favorite. I'm guessing that fire gets extinguished tonight. The Pistons host the Wizards. The Pistons are 14.5-point favorites. And the Clippers are at the Pelicans, where the Clippers are 7.5-point favorites.
Getting 7.
There's some gross games tonight, man. Yeah. Gross.
But on the other side, you get to see, what is it, Pittsburgh, Syracuse?
Pitt, Notre Dame.
Pitt, Notre Dame, that's what it is.
Oh, gross game. You get to see Virginia Tech, Cal. Ugh, Syracuse, Florida State.
So that Virginia Tech Cal, that's an ACC game, huh?
Yeah.
Okay.
Just fast forward us to Thursday when the real games start.
Well, I hope for an upset tonight. Just a couple to get. We need one Cinderella in every tournament that we can kind of follow.
You know who I kind of like to win the Big 12? I've been saying I think Houston might end up being my team for the national title. that I use in pools, just because I think so many people are going to pick Duke and Auburn that it's going to be a prudent move to pick someone who's not them. And I think Houston is legit. But I also think the style of play that they have isn't great for a everyday tournament.
Because these refs are not used to seeing
and they
what
play
Houston
so
brings.
hard. Like, it's exhausting. And they don't really have an off switch unless they force themselves to.
So you're saying you'll like Houston if they don't win the Big 12?
Yes.
Couple of days extra rest?
Yes.
I believe that.
And I think they're by design. I think they're probably going to lose in the Big 12.
Well, I don't think by design, but you have certain limits that you'll reach and go, that's enough.
I think a team to watch is Texas Tech.
Wouldn't be surprising. I watched Billis the other day, and he was talking about guys that can lift their teams in the tournament that you might not have heard of. And Toppin at Tech is one of those guys that you might not have known about him. Saw him at New Mexico, knew he was a stud, moves over to Tech, and is really, over the last couple of games, he's capable of lifting them. So it wouldn't shock me at all to see Tech do this.
They are so good. And, I mean, again, 15-5 in the Big 12, nothing to sneeze at. But this is a team that I think has some real ceiling to them.
And it's one of those teams that you want to see win the tournament. They need that kind of momentum to get in and do something in the Big 12.
Oh, and they were so close last time, and yeah, it'd be good. It'd be good for them. And I like Grant McCasland. And for Texas Tech fan, you got to see it while you can, because my guess is he's wearing an orange shirt next year.
I was going to say McCasland's auditioning as we speak.
McCasland, you ever put on a burnt orange jacket? Let's see how you look in this.
Last time we hired a coach from Tech, where did we meet? Was that in the hotel in Post, Texas? Is that where we were, or was that in a graveyard? Oh, wait, that was baseball.
Let's meet in Pecos. Let's
in a graveyard in Pecos, and we'll sign you there.
Meet me behind the rodeo arena in Pecos, Texas, at high noon on Tuesday.
I've been reading.
We'll get a deal done.
If you think about where Tech is as a school in the Big 12. They have more NIL money than anybody in the Big 12 right now, even more than Texas. They're spending more money this
Texas
year.
Isn't in the Big 12.
Well, I mean, in the state.
Yeah.
And they're spending more than anybody in the state of Texas. Spend some of the money on McCasland. Just pay the money today, whether you paid him last year, because they're coming. The vultures are coming for your coach.
No doubt.
I mean, they're coming for you. And Texas will get him before you even know he's gone. You know that, Lubbock. You know that.
But that NIL money is for players.
Well, I'm just saying that's coming from people that would donate to pay for the coach. And I think that now when you have a coach like McCasland, and I'll say he's probably the best coach on that campus, name the sport, you pay him.
I agree. And Grant McCasland's won everywhere. He won it at North Texas in really unprecedented fashion. He won at North Texas. He was winning 30 games at North Texas, and clearly hasn't dropped off much since. Texas Tech's probably going to be a 2 seed, is my guess, if they win the Big 12.
Let me tell you, if he's got a company phone, if he's got a Texas Tech sponsored phone, block all numbers from 512. Don't let it. I don't care if it's a recruit. Pass on those. No numbers from 512 make it onto McCasland's phone. That ain't happening.
I'm playing here at Lake Travis High School. I want to talk to Coach McCasland.
Nope, sorry.
Let me see. What's your Social Security number, son?
Keep busy.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. McCasland's a hot property, and I do agree they might get a good run in the 12.
That's a damn good team. Darion Williams, Elijah Hawkins, Chance McMillan. They've got some ballers there, man. It's an exciting time. Kerwin Walton even exciting time for Texas Tech basketball. And Texas basketball in general. A&M looks like they've got they're going to be a solid or tough out at least in the tournament.
Yeah.
Texas Tech is where they're at, and
Baylor's not what they were, but the state of Texas is they're represented well.
Houston,
we've had better years.
Texas Tech, and Texas A&M probably all going to be top 4 seeds. Mm-hmm. That's a strong showing.
Ladies number 1.
Yep. The Texas ladies lost.
But they'll be a 1
South
seed.
Carolina.
But they'll be a 1 seed when the tournament gets
I looked up; they were losing like 65 to 35.
These
girls are supposed to be good.
They punted.
That's South Carolina. They seem to be good at lady basketball. I'd maybe recruit some of those gals, but I'm no expert on lady basketball. Other than I predicted that South Carolina would beat Iowa last year, and they did.
Well, that's all you need.
I know a lot.
Like they're gonna make that run again. You do know a lot.
I know a lot.
Probably more than you should.
Well, more than the average man should, but for me, it's about right.
Just remember, a little knowledge is the most dangerous thing in the world.
That's right. The second most dangerous thing in the world is joining us for the golf tournament, and we'd like to invite you to join us for the golf tournament. The spring golf tournament, April 14th, the Golf Club of Texas. I actually don't think it's going to be that dangerous unless you are.
You haven't seen me uncork my fairway wood.
Ooh.
It's dangerous for all involved, even those behind me.
I can't wait to see you uncork your wood. The spring golf classic presented by Flight by Yingling, the next generation of light beer, benefiting the Pan American Golf Association. Register online at sasportstar.com. $120 a head, or sign up your whole foursome for $400 and save. That's Monday, April 14th, 9 a.m., the Golf Club of Texas for the spring golf tournament presented by Flight by Yingling, the next generation of light beer. Sponsored in part by Ancira.com and PPL Motorhomes. And don't forget to join us afterwards for a live broadcast of the Blitz at the Hangar Bar and Grill on Petrenko. Am I saying that right? Petrenko, Vic?
Petrenko.
All right. Sign up now at sasportstar.com. All right. We'll be right back. We got 1 hour of program left. We got to talk about the poor New York Yankees. Just can't catch a break. Feel so bad for them. We'll do that next. Morning Huddle 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
On your ride to work, it's the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson, KTFM Floresville.
This report is sponsored by Progressive Insurance. Progressive makes bundling easy and affordable. Get a multi-policy discount by combining your motorcycle, RV, boat, ATV, and more. All your protection in one place. Bundle and save at Progressive.com. That's Progressive.com.
Injuries happen, and when they do, skip the ER and get to the Ortho Now Injury Clinic by TSAOG Orthopedics and Spine. Ortho Now provides walk-in care for injuries like broken bones, dislocations, sprains, and strains. Conveniently located in the Quarry area with extended hours Monday through Saturday with on-site x-ray casting and bracing, Ortho Now has everything you need to treat your injury, and best of all, no urgent care or emergency room copay. Learn more online at TSAOG.com.
I'm at a smoothie bar asking people if they'd switch smoothies with me for $574.
Oh, I'll switch.
So what about $574 if you switch your home insurance to Allstate?
That's a headache.
Nope, it's painless.
Oh, so it's easy money.
Yep, check Allstate first and you could save hundreds on quality home insurance today. You're in good hands with Allstate.
Not available in every state. Based on the national average annual savings for new home insurance customers surveyed in 2023 who switched to Allstate and reported savings. Savings vary.
Some people just know they can save hundreds on car insurance by checking Allstate first at 888-ALLSTATE or allstate.com. Like you know to check you have gas first before road tripping through the desert.
Empty? Seriously? Maybe I can walk.
Yeah, checking first is smart. So if you want to save money, check Allstate first at 888-ALLSTATE or allstate.com.
Maybe I can't.
You're in good hands with Allstate.
Savings vary. Terms apply. Allstate Fire and Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
Mellow Mushroom has the best pizza in San Antonio. Mellow delivers the best pizza experience with their delicious dough, premium ingredients, and unique flavors. Delivering a higher order of pizza is the standard. If Mellow can make a pizza this delicious, imagine what they can do with munchies, greens, calzones, and burgers. Mellow Mushroom has San Antonio's best happy hour with food specials and half-off adult beverages. Mellow Mushroom is at 1604 and Stone Oak Parkway. Hang with friends, watch the game, and mellow out at Mellow Mushroom.
Welcome to AT&T. How can I help?
Hey, I thought I could trust my twins with my phone, but they outnumber me, man.
Whoa, that's a lot of glitter paint. Let's trade
lives. At AT&T, everyone can trade in an old or glittered iPhone. Any year, any condition, and save on a new iPhone. Ask how to get iPhone 16 Pro on us. New and existing customers. Savings vary by device and trade-in combinations. Restrictions apply. See att.com for details. AT&T. Connecting changes everything.
What if your limited inventory had unlimited potential? What if your biggest risk was not taking one? What if you could make every move matter? Bank of America's business solutions can help bring your biggest what-ifs within reach. Find out how our digital tools, cutting-edge insights, and trusted expertise can work for your business. What would you like the power to do? Visit bankofamerica.com/banking for business to learn more. Bank of America is proud to be the official bank sponsor of FIFA World Cup 2026.
It's a classic odor tale. You fried fish for dinner, cleaned up, but the smell is still in the house. and the neighbors are coming over for game night. They're on their way. And then you spray Febreze Air Mist. Febreze Air starts working instantly to fight even your toughest odors, so you go from fish to fresh like that. Now, all you have to worry about is Pam cheating at charades.
Breathe happy, Febreze, la 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 la.
With basketball season in full swing, make watching the game a little bit more exciting with your chance to win money with Underdog, one of the leading sports apps, and you can play in Texas. You could win up to 1,000 times your money with Underdog, playing the pick'em game where you pick higher or lower on predicted stats. You can play with as little as $1, and if you get everything right on your pick'em entry, you could win up to 1,000 times your money. Yep, turn $1 into 1,000 with your hoops knowledge. Download the Underdog app and sign up using my promo code STAR to unlock a special offer of up to $1,000 in bonus cash when you make your first deposit. Must be 18 plus, 19 plus in Alabama and Nebraska, 19 plus in Colorado for some games, 21 plus in Arizona and Massachusetts, and present in a state where Underdog Fantasy operates. Terms apply. Void in Colorado. Concerned with your play? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit ncpgambling.org. In Arizona, call 1-800-NEXT-STEP or text NEXT STEP to 53342. In New York, call the 24/7 Hope line at 1-8778-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star Traffic from News Talk 550 KTSA.
Good morning. As you head into your commute, we are working a few trouble spots. 281 northbound approaching 46. Comal County, Spring Branch area. Accident has you slow from Bulverde Road, so tag on at least an extra 10 minutes to your commute. Loop 410 eastbound McCullough, accident with 2 right lanes blocked. 7-8 minute delay slow from Honeysuckle. On 35 southbound, that's road work. Olympia Parkway on down to 1604. All that gets by is the left lane, so start moving over. It's causing about a 40-minute delay slow from Engel. And 151 eastbound, that connector to Loop 410. We've got an accident, connector ramp partially blocked. I'm Debbie Alcacer, KTSA, Time Saver Traffic.
San Antonio Sports Center.
The Spurs fell last night to the Dallas Mavericks 133-129. They were paced by Harrison Barnes 29 and Devin Vassell's 24. The Spurs have given up 274 points in their last 2 games. The Dallas Cowboys did make a move. They added Broncos running back Javonte Williams on a 1-year, $3 million deal. I'm Rob Thompson for 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Sports Center brought to you by Centergenics Testosterone and Weight Loss. Centergenicshealth.com.
From the studios of San Antonio Sports Star, reaching more sports fans than any station in South Texas. Welcome to the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson. This is 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
It's the final hour. The hour of power. That's an old radio thing. Everybody has an hour of power. I don't know what makes it different than a regular hour.
You can charge more for the spots.
This is the power hour right here on 94.1.
You have to add in, lock it in and rip the knob off.
Rip the knob off. Hell yeah, we're a rock and roll morning show now, Bubba. Balls. Balls to the walls, man. Oh, we're so wacky. We're so wacky. The New York Yankees, they just can't catch a break in life, can they, Rob? Poor Gerrit Cole. Done for the season. He's going to have Tommy John surgery. I like to call it TJ surgery. We're not. He's before it even begins. He's already gone. We barely knew you. He'll be out for the 2025 season and part of the 2026 season. He had a second opinion from Dr. Neil Elatrosh. I guess now, who's the first guy they go to? Dr. James Andrews?
Yeah, Andrews down in Alabama, yeah. He's the dude.
I mean, if you got to get a second opinion, though, why even go see Dr. Andrews the first time?
Mm-hmm.
Cole's going to undergo the procedure today at the Cedars-Sinai Curlin-Jobe Institute in L.A. In a statement, the club says that further updates will occur post-surgery. He started 2 games this spring, gave up 7 runs across 6 innings. On Thursday, gave up 6 runs on 5 hits. over 2 2/3 to the Twins. Said he felt an alarming amount of pain that night into Friday morning, prompting him to notify the team and undergo imaging tests, which revealed a torn UCL, the ulnar collateral ligament. And Cole went through elbow pain back in March, but they said it was irritation, and instead of surgery, he rested and rehabbed. Made his season debut the middle of June, pitched into the World Series, didn't have any problems. But now this time it's a little bit different. He is going to have to go and will miss the season. It's the second blow to the Yankees starting rotation. Luis Gil, the reigning AL Rookie of the Year, has a lat strain that will sideline him for 3 months. So that means Max Fried, Carlos Rodon, and Clark Schmidt will be at the top of the Yankees rotation. And Marcus Stroman, who was previously not expected to make the opening day rotation, is now going to slide into the 4 spot with Will Warren, a rookie who made his debut last season, and Carlos Carrasco will try to battle Will Warren for that last spot. That's 38-year-old non-roster invite Carlos Carrasco, who will take his Geritol and try and throw gas for the Yankees. Poor Yankees just cannot catch a break. But and the Yankees have insurance on Cole's contract, which means they'll recoup some money for the time that he's out.
Well,
so forward thinking either way.
Yeah.
But yeah, Gerrit Cole, RIP to his 2025 season. Chris, who's Javonte Williams? What do you mean, who's Javonte Williams? He's the running back for the Dallas Cowboys. How dare you question Javonte?
Former Bronc. That's
right.
Former.
Mac Brown liked him. I'm going to like him.
Well, I mean, there is a precedent for good backs coming out of North Carolina. So,
one of the guys who we haven't really talked about when we've been talking about NFL free agency is Aaron Rodgers. Why haven't we talked about Aaron Rodgers? Well, yeah, it's because Aaron Rodgers stinks. But the Tennessee Titans have thrown their name into the hat for Aaron Rodgers. Maybe they're saying, you know who's gonna really push Will Levis to get the best out of him? Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers is gonna be like, Will, what you're doing wrong here is you're eating the mayonnaise. The key is to slather your body in mayonnaise.
And then lick a frog.
And then lay down in a pile of Burmese ants. You can't use regular ants. American ants don't do the same thing. They'll eat you.
No,
but
do the bullet ants.
The Burmese ants, they don't bite. They actually sting. And what it will do is it will cause temporary blindness. And I don't want you to worry about that. That's okay. Because when you come out of that blindness, the light, the color, it's going to be something you've never seen before. And you're going to be able to spin that football like nobody's business, man. And Will Levis is looking at him like, are you serious, dude? And he's like, yeah, I'm absolutely serious. Am I smiling? Do I look like I'm joking? So, yeah, unfortunately, Devontae Adams will not be able to make it to Tennessee. And, boy, if you thought Aaron Rodgers stunk last year with the Jets, and I did, now you're putting him on a much worse roster. Oh, this could be glorious.
It could, but he might.
Will.
This is the nail in the coffin of Aaron Rodgers.
But do you think? Well, yeah, it's not going to be pretty, but I don't think it'll be nearly. It won't feel nearly as bad as the Jets.
Well, because the expectations will be lower.
We know who you are. You're not going to save anybody.
Yeah. So that was for me, my favorite part about Aaron Rodgers playing for the Jets was Aaron Rodgers made a bunch of people believe that he was going to do something special with the Jets. And it made me feel really smart because I knew that Aaron Rodgers was going to stink, and the Jets always stink. And then you combine two stinky things together, it usually makes more stink. So I said, Aaron Rodgers is going to stink with the Jets. That was my hot take, and it was right. Now, if I say Aaron Rodgers is going to stink with the Titans, everyone's going to go, well, yeah. Obviously.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so this is a losing game for me. I need him to go somewhere where there's expectations. I need Aaron Rodgers to go to Pittsburgh.
Well, if teams have expectations, they don't expect Aaron Rodgers.
You think everybody's figured it out, huh?
Well, no, I don't. But I just think that the timing wasn't right. But I think there's a few teams out there, if they didn't have a quarterback under contract, they'd have been talking to him too.
And I guess I guess your hope is either Aaron Rodgers or Will Levis can give you enough to get through the year so you can use that first pick on Abdul Carter instead of drafting a quarterback and then try again next year because you'll be bad again.
That's the ideal part of this. And whether it's a drafted quarterback next year or it's an unexpected Sam Darnold next year, something like that, you're better off filling the void and waiting because it's just not the right time now.
Well, my prediction.
I predict pain.
My prediction, pain. Yeah, my prediction is the Titans will not be very good next season, no matter what.
That's a safe assumption.
You think so?
I think we can
with or without Aaron Rodgers.
I think that we're pretty safe in assuming that the Titans won't win more than about 6 games over the next 2 years. You know what I mean? I shouldn't say that bad, but they're a terrible football team.
And that's sad because they play in a division where you should almost accidentally win some games.
Right? They're truly
That's
terrible.
a bad division. I mean, the Texans were the class of the AFC South. Like, there's games to be won. It's just, I don't know. I think the Titans might be the worst of the AFC South, and that's problematic. Javon Holland has agreed to a deal with the New York Football Giants, so they are doing something. They were another team that was, at one point, at least rumored to be linked to the Aaron Rodgers fiasco. I can't imagine the Giants, who had this guy in their building, and like they saw everything that the Jets that went through with Aaron Rodgers, and they're like, maybe
we could fix him.
Maybe. Oh God, what a disaster that would be too.
That's the ramification team that just wasn't going to happen because that would have been too perfect.
Yeah, but that would bring me joy too because I like the Giants to fail also. So there's the Aaron Rodgers sweepstakes. Even though I know how it ends, I've still got a vested interest in it because I want him to go someplace where I want to see them fail.
No, AJ, there is still this small part of me,
ideally
this much, that thinks.
You don't think anymore.
I'm just saying.
Why?
I don't know, but there's this small part of me that goes, if everything clicks in, and they can win some games. It will be so much fun.
You're like the guy.
I know.
You're the guy who's married to the girl who cheats on him all the time with his friends.
No, it's not that she doesn't cheat so much.
And then she talks about it on the internet, and like she doesn't hide it, but like you keep saying she still loves me though.
No, she doesn't love me, but God, she's good looking.
But he's not even good looking anymore.
No, but she can do a couple of things.
He's old and wrinkly.
Have you seen some of the things she can do?
Old balls and loose skin. Gross.
Oh, Aaron can do some things that most girls can't.
I remember you. It was like week 17 or week 18 when Aaron Rodgers had a good. Once the Jets were like. They were like 3-13 or something, and Aaron Rodgers had a game, and Rob was like, "Whoa, Aaron Rodgers!"
I agree.
Man,
still, I feel like if just a chance, because I want that team to win, and then and then to have a desperately bad beating, like
they did. Remember they lost by like 40 to the Bills the next week.
I'm talking about playoff. We think we're good. We are wild card. They think they can do it, and then they suffer one of those 40-0. The coach retires, and half the team is off next year kind of beatings. That's if I could pick my dream scenario for Aaron, that would be it. A regular season of wow, the old man could do it, and then a last game of oh my God, this is it.
I loved the way that it went. I loved that he brought this hope 2 years ago, and then like on the first drive, he blows his Achilles. And all the Jets fans are devastated. Oh, what are we going to do without Aaron? And then they waited a whole nother year thinking, now it's time. Now's our time. And then the first couple weeks they stunk. And they're like, oh, he's getting back in the groove after this Achilles thing. Then the next few weeks they kept stinking. And they're like, hey, what's going on here? And then by the end of it, Jets fan was just like, we suck. This is awful. Aaron Rodgers is no good. We're never going to be good. That's my favorite thing is watching Jets fans go through every year. And every year, like, I don't know who the Jets are going to go into this season with their starting quarterback, like who they think is going to be the starter this year.
Right.
Whoever it is, Jets fan is going to be like, we've got a real chance this year. And then as the season goes on, they're going to go, oh, my God, we're the Jets. We suck. Obviously, we suck. We're the Jets.
Well,
that's how I am with the Cowboys.
I was about to say, as a Cowboy
year.
fan, it's an emotion I'm kind of familiar with.
Yeah, but you guys make the playoffs sometimes, and, you know.
Not very often.
No.
The one thing
you guys just had 3 12-win seasons in a row.
Yeah.
That doesn't happen to the Jets. Jets fans don't know that life.
See, they don't know the agony of actually being good enough to get it done, but still not
don't.
being capable of doing it. I think it's worse being a Cowboy fan, where you actually are capable. Jet fans deluded. I mean, you're from the get-go. But
Claymore says, I'm old enough to remember Rob and AJ telling us Rodgers will sign with the team. Claymore, are you still in the belief that he will not sign with the team?
Oh, he's on. Yeah,
he's going to end up somewhere, Bubba. He'll end up
Steelers.
It'll be Pittsburgh, Tennessee, or the Giants. That's my top 3 right now. Top 3 contenders, and whoever it is, I'm going to do like Nelson Muntz and point and laugh at him.
Well, if we want that narrative, it's got to be Pittsburgh.
That would be the funniest for me.
That would be the most fun.
Just because.
Yeah.
You go to Tennessee, no one cares.
The thing about Pittsburgh is, and Tino says Jets signed Justin Fields. Again, I don't know if the Jets, like, if they've decided that Justin Fields is their starter.
But every team Justin Fields has been on, they've had 2 quarterbacks.
They're going to have someone to compete with him.
Right.
But how great would it be? Every year we talk about Mike Tomlin never had a losing record. Mike Tomlin never had a losing record, and then he gets Aaron Rodgers and goes 4-13. Oh, how fitting that would be for Aaron Rodgers just to drag Mike Tomlin into the muck with him and ruin that legacy. And then the Steelers fire Mike Tomlin. Like we
all
can't.
Because of Aaron.
Oh, God, he just ruins everything. He bangs a teammate's wife, hopefully. It's a disaster.
He gets caught with shrooms in his locker.
Yes. Oh, DEA raids DEA raids the Steelers the facilities and like.
Does
that'd be perfect.
Pittsburgh have a holistic art scene? Do they have can he find frogs to lick?
I don't know. Well, he'll still have to fly down to Venezuela or Peru or wherever he goes.
You'll have somebody bring
go
it
to the
him.
zoo.
Yeah.
It might be a frog to lick there.
How great would it be if like who is it? Art Rooney Jr. or Art Rooney II? Like they find drugs in Aaron's locker, and they're like, Art Rooney, you knew about this, and now Art Rooney goes to prison all because he signed Aaron Rodgers. That's the story I would want written if I were writing the story. That's the way I would do it.
They had Antonio Brown pass through. They've seen a few.
Oh, they've seen their share of crazy.
It won't be their first time.
Oh no,
nothing to this extent though.
Oh God, this would be so good. It would be so good. We can only pray, and that's what we'll pray, and we'll knock on wood. All right, Rob. When we come back, we'll see what's going on outside of the world of sports. But I want to know what's going on in your shower.
Not a lot right now, I would hope.
Hoping you're breaking out you're breaking out your wood on the fairway.
Or my loofah in the shower. I hope you did wash yourself clean underneath a Connecticut water softened shower. If you did, carry on about your day. You're doing things right. For the rest of those out there that might not have a Connecticut, maybe invested poorly, or maybe don't have one at all, I want you to listen real close. For those of you unaware, Connecticut's been around San Antonio for years. As long as I've been a homeowner, and that's been through 2 centuries, I've had a Connecticut water softener, and I don't see any change ever coming because they have taken care of me and done everything they said they were going to do from the moment we began doing business. Connecticut's made in the United States. They've got the awards to prove the quality of merchandise. That goes without saying. If you talk to your neighbors, they'll talk about the longevity. I've got a warranty on mine I've never actually used. Connecticut is by far the softener you need in this side of the world. Now, some things you need to know. Now's the time to go get involved with Connecticut. Write this number down first, 656-PURE, P-U-R-E. If it's time for a new water softener, call them today. There's money in your old water softener. There's some trade-in value there. They'll pay you for it, up to $400. If you're ready to go ahead and get involved, there are great financing rates going on right now, 0% and all that. If you need some convincing, if you'll call 656-PURE today, Connecticut will come out and put the water softener in your home for 90 days so you see what we're talking about. And if you decide it's not what I said it is or it's not what you wanted, 90 days they're going to come get it and you'll never spend a penny. But once you decide, and I'm sure you will, there's a little bit extra there. If you go ahead and purchase within the next 90 days, you're going to walk away with one of those reverse osmosis drinking stations up on your sink, one of those things that replaces all the water bottles. Make sure you got ready access to pure, perfect water for the dog bowl, for your coffee cup, wherever it might be, right there on the sink. And that's just a little bit added value. I had to pay for it. You'll get it for free. The number you need is 656-PURE. If you need more details, and I know I would, go to KineticoSA.com for all the deets. But listen close. There's never been a better time to get a Kinetico, the best water softener for your most important investment, your home. Call them today, and I know you'll come on by and thank me later.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star traffic from News Talk 550 KTSA.
Good morning. Kind of hard to tell on the cameras here, but on Houston Street, eastbound right around South W.W. White, right underneath I-10, we're getting reports of an overturned mobile home or a manufactured home that's on its side. So just a heads up. Again, that's Houston Street, eastbound South W.W. White, right underneath I-10. A bit sluggish 35 southbound FM 3009 to Judson Road, and then headed northbound 35 Thousand Oaks up to Wieterstein. I'm Debbie Alcacer, KTSA Time Saver Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Rapid Radio.
Rapid Radios are instant push-to-talk walkie-talkies offering national LTE coverage and no subscription ever. Perfect for instant contact with an aging parent. For a limited time, go to rapidradios.com and you'll get an extra 60% off, free UPS shipping, and add code RADIO for an extra 5% off.
Oh, could this vintage store be any cuter?
Right? And the best part? They accept Discover.
Accept Discover? In a little place like this? I don't think so, Jennifer.
Oh, yeah, huh? Discover's accepted where I like to shop. Come on, baby, get with the times.
Right, so we shouldn't get the parachute pants?
These are making a comeback. I think.
Discover is accepted at 99% of places that take credit cards nationwide. Based on the February 2024 Nielsen report.
Hey, Joy. Oh, you are glowing.
Oh, hey. More like Mirajoyed. That Miralax helped me go. I was so backed up. Tried mega coffees, prune juice, everything. Then Miralax. And hello, gentle relief without the harsh side effects.
Ooh, how does it work?
It works naturally with the water in your body for constipation relief. Find Miralax today at your local retailer.
Use as directed for occasional constipation.
Thanks for calling Discover. This is Nia.
Hi, Nia. It's Jennifer. Did you know that Discover automatically doubles all the cash back you've earned at the end of your first year?
Yeah, I work here.
Okay. I was just double checking. Get it?
Because Discover automatically doubles all the cash back you've earned at the end of your first year?
Oh, you get me, Nia.
You could say that I double get you.
I guess we've taken it too far.
You earn, we match. Discover Cashback Match. See terms at discover.com/creditcard.
You ever try fixing your car and realize you're missing that one part? Yeah, been there. That's why eBay's my go-to. They've got millions of parts, guaranteed to fit. I'm talking brake pads for when yours have seen one too many miles of stop and go. Oil filters, because you don't mess around with your engine care. Even got this cold air intake on my watch list. I might just go for it. To keep the ride cool and your DIY streak hot. Find all the parts you need at prices you'll love. Guaranteed to fit every time. eBay. Things, people, love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Guys, if you ever spend time on social media, you'll often find yourself just being hit with bad news and worse comments, and you'll see how everybody's life is so picture perfect, and they've got this great job promotion, and you're wondering, man, where am I? It's hard not to get wrapped up in how everyone else is doing. Imagine how you'd feel if you just spent 45 minutes focused on how you're doing. That's what they're about at Cerebral. They make it easier than ever to access dedicated therapists and doctor-prescribed medication personalized to you. And the best part, Cerebral offers in-network care so you can focus on feeling better without worrying about the cost. If you're dealing with stress, anxiety, you want to be more present and focused, you want to sleep better, you want to have better relationships, you've got to work on yourself. Cerebral is proud to be an official sponsor of the San Antonio Spurs. Just like athletes prioritize their physical health, mental health is just as important, and Cerebral's here to help you build a strong foundation for your overall being. So take the first step today. Visit Cerebral.com to see how affordable and accessible mental health care can be with insurance. Cerebral, make time for mind time.
George Gets Justice. After being hit by an 18-wheeler, the experienced attorneys of George Salinas Injury Lawyers are San Antonio's choice for getting you the maximum compensation you deserve. With over 110 years of combined experience, they've recovered millions for their clients. 18-wheelers may be bigger than you on the road, but you can be bigger than them in the courtroom. George guarantees that you don't pay unless they win your case. Call 210-225-0909 today for a free consultation. George Gets Justice. GetGeorge.com.
If you missed the Blitz with Jason and Joe, then you missed this.
Yeah, I worked hard this morning, Minix. We have a doggy door. Well, the flaps were like malfunctioning.
Bad to have malfunctioning flaps.
Yes, the dogs would go outside and the flap would stay up. Maggie ordered some, and I installed those bad boys today. And I must say, pretty damn good. 4 screws on each side.
Four screws for malfunctioning flaps.
It was harder than you think.
Right home with the Blitz. Afternoons 2 to 6 on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star. You're listening to the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson.
Alrighty.
The fix, right? Yeah.
Look at you. What a pull.
Yeah.
What's the longest you've ever gone without eating meat?
I've gone like all meat or like beef?
Any meat.
Not more than a couple days.
What about you, Vic? I'm guessing you've gone a little while before.
About 3 weeks.
Like
3
no
weeks?
meat. You only had vegetables.
I was
no protein.
I was in the
chicken,
hospital
beef.
after I had my kidney out.
Oh, that'll do it.
I was in the hospital. I had nothing for 3 weeks.
I can't. I'm like I always have like
I
chicken
lost
or
like
turkey.
almost 30 pounds the whole time I was in there.
How did you do when you went back to eating meat? How did your body react to it?
I remember my stomach hurt.
Okay.
There is a
Yeah.
So
anybody who's fasted has.
Yeah, like it hurt a lot.
Yeah, the repercussions of that first meal.
a lot of people say some people stopping eating meat is one of the simplest ways to like reduce your carbon footprint, and that's like that's what PETA will try and tell you is like, hey, it's good for the environment not to eat meat, even though
you've been around me after a bowl of beans. I'm putting out some carbon, baby.
But if we don't eat cows, then like what are we gonna do with all these cows? Like,
be too many of them.
Think about that. If we didn't eat cows, why would we pay money to feed cows? Why would we pay money to give them shots and take care? Like, nobody's looking for pet cows. People raise cows to eat them.
Right.
But then they'll say, well, raising cows brings up again, the carbon footprint, things like that. I understand that
it's a nebulous thing, but it's so down my list of worries.
It is for me too. But people are saying that if you remove meat from your diet for a considerable amount of time, you can become meat intolerant.
Yeah, I've heard of this. You can't digest the protein.
Some scientists are saying your body's ability changes, and vegetarians and vegans sometimes post on social media asking whether going back to meat could be an explanation for stomach pain, bloating, and other symptoms. And some people, like, your body won't digest it. It'll just sit there, that sounds terrible and gross. But I've trained my body well to digest meat.
Well,
like, my body understands, hey, this is what we eat. You need to you need to take care of this.
The idea of
I stopped it.
Protein
I'm good.
And beef and vegetarianism. Anybody who starts to be I'm going to just give up meat at 25.
That's crazy,
unless
right?
a doctor told you to do it, you're doing it to have something to talk about. That's all it is.
Yeah.
Because I know as many hyper healthy people that eat lots and lots of red meat and protein as the vegans that claim to be as healthy. So it ain't about the health.
Elsewhere in the world, it's a 5-year anniversary today
of
COVID-19.
Was it the shutdown?
Happy
You know what?
5 years, everybody. Hey, we made
you remember,
it.
And it was so unique in the sports world as we watched the world shut down around us with all the conference tournaments getting called off mid-tournament, mid-game. And we knew it's coming for me. It's just a matter of when it's going to happen. And it shut down this studio for a year and a half.
Since 2020, COVID killed more than 1.2 million Americans, more than in any other country. We were the kings of the castle on that. 1 in 7 reported COVID-19 deaths in the whole world were ours here in America. It was, let's see, it ranked only behind the 1918 Spanish flu and the bubonic plague.
All right.
So it's strong performance. Strong performance. Now, thankfully, we've gotten past all the lockdowns and quarantines and things like that. But some experts, especially at the World Health Organization, are saying we are maybe less prepared to handle something like this than we were 5 years ago.
Because now we don't trust anything.
Right. I think it's, and what we've also, this was like, remember shutdowns and all that. Then people were like, okay, well, we withdrew from that World Health Organization. So we've done things to like even further take ourselves away from that type of science. But again, these things typically only happen once in a generation. I'm hoping that this is the last one for us for a while. But I'm with you, or I'm with what you just said. I don't know that I'd trust anything that got told to me.
That's why it'll be
I'm not
worse.
believing any of that
I think
stuff.
there were lessons learned. We did learn a few lessons, but whether we can actually apply them to the
But also we didn't learn some lessons because now measles is back. So I don't know that we've learned really anything.
There are lots of morbid jokes there that eventually we won't have to learn anything because them that didn't will all be gone.
A man, I say a man, a person called police in Wisconsin on his mom. They stopped by, and the police came to check out. He said, my mom is being abusive. They stopped by his house, and, well, what was the abuse? What was he doing, or what was she doing to abuse you? She ate his ice cream.
Yeah, I saw this.
And the police came by and did the scared straight on him. He was a 4-year-old kid.
Yeah, I saw this on TV the other
Called
day.
911 because his mom ate his ice cream. And so
he was dead set. He wanted her to pay the price, too. He was mad.
He punishes me when I'm bad.
Yep.
We got to do something. I want her in prison. And the police came by and did the scared straight thing. They said it was a teaching moment.
They shouldn't have slapped the mom around, though. That was taking it a little far.
They did. That was a little over intimidation.
Was not really required.
Now
you'll never do that again.
Now this kid was 4, but he's worried about what could come, especially with his mom being such an ice cream hound. A 10-year-old boy in Indiana was crushed to death after his foster mother sat on him for several minutes because he was acting bad.
I can't breathe. I'm protesting.
Jennifer Lee Wilson has been sentenced to 6 years in prison with 1 year suspended to be served on probation. She's charged with reckless homicide in the death of Dakota Levi Stevens.
How much does what's-her-name weigh?
340 pounds.
A lot of Rosie there.
That is a lot. That's a
lot
lot.
of Rosie.
So Jennifer Lee Wilson sat on her foster son until he behaved, which was like, you're either going to behave or you're going to die, and he died. So police were called to a home in Valparaiso, Indiana, because he was not breathing, turned out to have no pulse. An officer found bruising on the child's lower neck and chest. Officers attempted to resuscitate the boy, but he was transported to a hospital where he later died. Wilson told police the boy had just run away from home, and she had found him at the neighbor's house and brought him back home. She said he was still acting bad and threw himself on the ground, telling her that he was leaving. According to a court filing, Wilson told police that when she attempted to stop him from leaving, she does not know if she tackled him or they fell to the ground. However, her intention was to hold him. She said she sat on his midsection for about 5 minutes. He eventually stopped moving, but she believed he was faking. Are you faking? She asked before she rolled him over and noticed his eyelids were pale. She then started to do CPR and called 911. He suffered organ and soft tissue damage, liver and lung hemorrhaging, and other injuries. An autopsy revealed the cause of death as mechanical asphyxia and the manner of death as homicide.
How do you get over that, man?
What a terrible way to die with a 340-pound woman sitting on you.
Your child.
In a non-sexual way, even. Like, if you died during sex, you get what you get. But that should never happen in the world of parenting. But I mean, he was still acting bad, quote unquote, acting bad. So that's a good reason to, just sit on him. I guess.
Dude,
I don't know.
What are you in for? Sat on my kid and killed him.
Yeah, I just can't. I don't know. I can't picture ever doing that, but also I don't know how you explain that. Like, officer, I did sit on him. I was sitting on his chest. Joe Rogan, the speculation on Joe Rogan's height is taking the internet by storm. I don't know how tall that Joe Rogan really is, but there are people online claiming, and I've met Joe Rogan. I know this is not true. People are claiming that he's 5'2".
That's what I keep hearing. I've been in the same room with him. He's not 5'2".
He's not 5'2". No. I don't know how tall he is, and he's not a tall person. I think he's probably like 5'6", 5'7", but he's not 5'2". Like 5'2" is the kind of size I would notice if a grown man was 5'2". I'd be like, whoa, that's alarming. Like when Jason Minnick walks in the room, I'm like, whoa, that's just Jason. Like at first I think, oh, that 5'2" guy walked in the room, but then it's just Minnick, and I'm like, oh, I'm used to that. But Joe Rogan is a little bit taller than Jason Minnick, I think, although slightly. And last year, remember, a video went viral on TikTok when someone wrote in skywriting, like with an airplane, that Joe Rogan is literally 5'3" in L.A. That's now popped up on social media again. But that's the tip of the iceberg. Speculation over Rogan's height has gone wild online in recent days. One TikTok video posted by social media creator Danimal was captioned, "Joe Rogan is 5'2". It features a creator saying those words in the clip while holding a tape measure to illustrate how tall 5'2" is. The footage has been liked over 500,000 times and viewed more than 6.2 million times at the time of publication. And it is like it's him stepping on a he takes out a tape measure, says this is 5'2", and holds it up, and it's like, this is how tall Joe Rogan is. And Chelsea God's a TikTok creator. She's a political activist. She credits her TikTok post as being the genesis of the thread. God's has not only posted multiple videos about Rogan's height, but is also selling hats that have printed on them, Joe Rogan is 5'2".
I don't really care. What's the point here?
So apparently, people are doing this. They're lying about Joe Rogan's height to explain how misinformation gets passed around.
Gotcha.
This is like a gotcha on Joe Rogan for spreading misinformation on his show, what they perceive as misinformation. I don't listen to Joe Rogan anymore. And it's not politically based. I didn't listen to Joe Rogan anymore before he became like what he is, the Trump Elon sort of, when he became in that circle.
I never really.
But I always enjoyed listening to him because I felt like he was,
as long as it wasn't politics. Yeah, he had some interesting cats on the show.
And there are people who are weird and like they're saying crazy things, but it's also sometimes it's good for us as a society to hear things that are different than what we're used to hearing or challenge what we might think. So I don't have any problem with it. And so I don't know exactly what disinformation has been spread, but it is kind of funny that people are now like wearing gear that says Joe Rogan is 5'2".
Yeah, you are an underdog until you're on top, and then the shots start coming.
Well, Joe Rogan, I always thought he was one of the people who was like uncancelable.
There's nobody uncancelable. There's nobody safe from
Apparently
that.
not. Well, except the president.
Even he.
Oh, come on.
And there is no one uncancelable on this planet. They even killed Christ.
That's true. They canceled him.
Mm-hmm.
You want to feel old? The Backstreet Boys. You remember them?
Vaguely. Killed them too.
Yeah, they're no longer famous. Yeah. Brian Littrell was a Backstreet Boy.
Which one was he? The pensive one or the tough guy?
He was the pensive one.
All right.
He was the pensive one. He was short but kind of cute.
Was Timberlake? He was in. He's the other one.
Yeah,
okay.
Come on, get your.
I'm
facts
sorry,
straight.
I get all the boys mixed up.
But this is how I know I'm old. Bailey Littrell, the 22-year-old son of the Backstreet Boys is a recent auditioner on American Idol. And I started thinking, 22 years ago, when the Backstreet Boys were big, like...
Oh, I looked him up. Yeah, I recognize him.
God, that makes me feel so old.
I have
that was
a problem with this.
And
first of all, yeah, it's amazing. But secondly, dude, you don't need to go on this.
You wouldn't think so. Like, he's got connections to record labels.
You're in the business. This is for those that ain't. This is for the babysitter in Paducah, Kentucky, who got enough time off to come to try to make a name for herself. This is not for the son of a Backstreet Boy.
I would think so.
Come on, man. That's like Shaq doing one more commercial. Come on, man.
He needs one more. Or
You're already in it. You got enough.
What do you think the General pays Shaq?
I can't imagine. I hope it's part of the company for as much work as he does for them. I legitimately, I think he gets parts of companies anymore.
Yeah, I guess so. Like I'm like, I never see any advertising for the General outside of Shaq advertising. I don't know anyone who uses the General for insurance, but somehow they're able to pay Shaq. This has got to be a shell company. There's got to be
the General is a very specific car insurance.
Okay,
it is for those that have had accidents.
Go to the General and save some time.
It's a fire. What's it called? A fire and something. It's a reinsurer that takes the high risks. So
okay, so
there's a lot of money in it. The policies are pretty heavy.
All right, yeah, I'm always surprised, but hey, good on Shaq. Good on Shaq. All right, let's take our last break, and when we come back, we'll take a look at the daily lines. We'll wrap up the show that way, the way we always do. It is the Morning Huddle on 94.1. San Antonio Sports Star.
If you woke up this morning feeling good about yourself, no pain keeping you out of your life, carry on about your day. You're doing things that we all hope to be. But if you're like most of us, there's something probably painful in your life that's keeping you out of the things you want to get done. Some of us were dealing with bad feet. A lot of us have lower back issues. Maybe it's those stress pains that start in the middle of your back and work your way up forward, where you get all that tense in your shoulders and just kind of get yourself going. Arosty is out there to fix that. Arosty providers are highly trained medical professionals that take on above and beyond what they began in the business. And what I'm saying is, to be an Arosty provider, you are already a physical therapist, a chiropractor, a general practitioner. You're already in the medical business, and you have achieved something higher, Arosty certification. And Arosty certification is a way of getting people out of pain in non-traditional ways. What I'm saying is, it has nothing to do with pills to dull the pain. It has nothing to do with some kind of long-term process to get you out of the pain. It's fixing the pain and fixing it fast. And let me tell you, it works. Now, for me specifically, it was lower back issues. I'd always had those twinges, those seizures, where they just kind of grab you and hold on for about a month, and you just kind of hope it lets go. I limped into an Arosty provider about 8 years ago, and not only did they fix me, they showed me how to fix it when it happened again. And from that point on, that problem was fixed. That's why I'm an Arosty patient and will be for life. That's why I referred my friends and my family to go, and that's why I'm telling you about it. So if you're dealing with pain right now, know there is an answer that can be fixed quickly. On average, under 4 visits, Arosty patients are back in the game. Here's what you need to know. You don't need a referral. You can call them right now, 1-800-404-6050. Their website is Arosty.com. There's a map of all the providers around San Antonio. I'll bet there's one less than 10 minutes from where you are now. Listen to me. Don't let pain keep you from doing things that you love. There's a fix. It's Arosty. Call them today. Let them take care of you. And when they do, come on by and thank me later.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star Spring Golf Classic is back. Monday, April 14th at the Golf Club of Texas. Get your slot now. $120 per person or $400 per foursome. The Spring Golf Classic, benefiting the Pan American Golf Association, is presented by Flight by Yingling, sponsored in part by Ensira.com and PPL Motorhomes. The Spring Golf Classic, Monday, April 14th. Sign up now at sasportstar.com.
Working from home, you realize you don't have enough outlets or USB ports. Hill Electric can fix that for you. For over 3 decades, the family-owned Hill Electric has served San Antonio homes and businesses. From adding an outlet, fixing that fuse that always blows, or that flickering light, Hill Electric has the right service at the right price, and there is never a service charge and always free estimates. Call Hill Electric at 210-404-9074. That's 404-9074. Or go to hill-electric.com.
For decades, Rudy's has been serving Texans incredible barbecue. But they've also been a community champion as well. And now when you visit any of their 4 San Antonio locations, just make a $10 donation to the Puppy Food Bank. And you'll receive a certificate valid for $15 in free barbecue and 2 soft drinks. So do the numbers. That's a $22 value for just $10. You'll enjoy great barbecue for less, and Puppy Food Bank can save more pet lives. Thank you, Rudies.
With Progressive, it's easy to reach customer service with our app, website, chat, or by phone. Because when getting help is hard, it's not help at all.
Little help. A little help over here.
Thank you for calling Bench Press Assistance.
What?
Due to excessive gym volume, all available spotters are currently lifting heavy weights off the chests of other bench pressers.
Seriously?
Please continue to hold, and we will remove the barbell from your chest in the order in which your cry for help was received.
Getting assistance should be easy. With Progressive, it is. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
If you're 55 and up, T-Mobile has plans built just for you. 2 lines of unlimited for just $30 a line. That's a 45% savings compared to Verizon and AT&T. But don't just take our word for it.
It's not just the savings that are great with our T-Mobile plan. There's all this value from all these other things that T-Mobile offers.
T-Mobile has been such a savings for us.
We love it.
Switch today and get 2 free 5G phones like the Motorola Edge with Turbo Power charging that gives you power for the day in just 15 minutes. And customers 55 and up can get 2 lines of talk, text, and data for only $30 a line. Go to T-Mobile.com/choice55 to learn more. With AutoPay plus taxes and fees, plus $5 per line without AutoPay. Debit or bank account required. 45% off 2 lines versus AT&T Starter and Verizon Welcome. Plan benefits vary. Motorola Edge on us with 24 monthly bill credits and new line for well-qualified customers, plus tax and $35 per line connection charge. See details at T-Mobile.com. Motorola Edge requires 68-watt charger. Charger sold separately. Actual performance will vary based on usage and configuration.
Oh, could this vintage store be any cuter?
Right? And the best part? They accept Discover.
Accept Discover? In a little place like this? I don't think so, Jennifer.
Oh, yeah, huh? Discover's accepted where I like to shop. Come on, baby, get with the times.
Right, so we shouldn't get the parachute pants?
These are making a comeback. I think.
Discover is accepted at 99% of places that take credit cards nationwide. Based on the February 2024 Nielsen report.
Hi, this is Joe Reinagle. You're listening to the home of the Texas Rangers, 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Hello, my friend. We meet again. It's the Morning Huddle. Hey, breaking news on the Dallas Cowboys. Solomon Thomas, defensive lineman, now a Dallas Cowboy. Cowboys have added defensive tackle Solomon Thomas. 2-year deal worth up to $8 million per, according to Adam Schefter. Solomon Thomas, you may recall, was the number 3 overall pick in the NFL draft by the 49ers. He has not lived up to that draft status, but he is a decent piece. Much better in pass than run, which is weird for a defensive tackle, but that's what he is. He's got some sacks. He can get after the quarterback a little bit, but not a massive body. And he's, quite frankly, he grades out really poorly against the run, but it's at least a veteran body, and this breaks the streak, Rob, of
great players from elsewhere,
of not signing anyone from outside the Cowboys organization since Greg Hardy for more than $6 million a year.
You know, the crazy thing about this is I remember when this guy came out of high school. He's from Dallas. He played high school ball at Capel. He's a Capel Cowboy. So, yeah, they went and got somebody else, but they saw him play it a long time ago.
Yeah. So there you go. You got a little help on the defensive line. Not bad.
It sounds like an edge rusher to play behind or around on the other side of Micah.
No. He'll have his hand. He'll
have his hand on the ground.
Yeah, he'll play inside more than likely.
Really?
Yeah, would be. I mean, that's where he's always played. I would imagine. I think he's a defensive tackle. I don't know that he would be able.
Okay, 2 years, $8 million is what I was looking at,
right? $8 million per.
That's what I meant. 2 years, $8 million. Yep. So 16 total.
Yeah.
What's his? Like another.
Last 3 years with the Jets.
You get a starting defensive lineman for under $10 million a year.
A veteran? Yeah.
I'm not mad at it. Again, carry on. You're doing the bare minimum.
Yeah.
Which is, for the Cowboys, enough right now, but there's still more work to be done. But 2 dudes signed in 2 holes. kind of filled.
Yeah, I think you take that. It's a
shame when just doing the bare minimum seems like success. When you're just doing something, seems like, well, at least you're doing something, as opposed to what we've seen at the very least last year. I'm not happy. I'm just
it's
okay.
Selective aggression. You take it, right? There's selective aggression. I don't know what you mean. You're not happy.
I'm not. I shouldn't say that. I'm not unhappy. You're doing. It's like I'm supposed to pat you on the back for just doing the. You got money. You got holes. Go spend the money. Now I'll grade you by the guy you bring in.
Yeah.
I mean, he better play up to stuff. That's where I'm going to grade you. But it's really easy to go find a defensive tackle and find him for under $10 million and sign him. Can he play?
Well, that's what we'll find out.
Yeah.
But again, it's one less thing for them to.
Dude, this is all precursor. All we're doing is dancing around. What are you going to do with Micah? And until you do that, everything you do is just wrapping paper for the gift. Either you're getting rid of it or we're doing something else. But until then, this is just we're all waiting for the true move.
All right, let's get into the daily lines.
It's the Morning Huddle's look at the daily lines with AJ and Rob on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
You covered, yeah!
I mentioned this one before. The Cleveland Cavaliers, a slight favorite, hosting the Brooklyn Nets tonight. How about minus 18.5? Do the Cavs beat them by 20 is the question.
No.
No?
That's crazy. No.
Nets coming off a win?
They're feeling good about themselves, man. That's worth 10 points right there.
I think they're about to get their feelings hurt.
Might be 18.5? My gosh.
I think they're going to get their feelings hurt. Pistons minus 14.5 hosting the Wizards. The Bucks, 2-point road favorites in Indiana. And the Clippers minus 7 at the Pelicans. That's your only NBA action today. In the world of ice hockey, you've got the Columbus Blue Jackets at the New Jersey Devils. Vicky Valancourt is a Devil. The Devils are minus 160. The Golden Knights minus 205. They are at the Pittsburgh Penguins. The Florida Panthers minus 230. They are at the Bruins. The Ottawa Senators minus 120 at Philly. Tampa Bay Lightning is at the Carolina Hurricanes. Carolina minus 135. The New York Rangers are at the Winnipeg Jets. Jets minus 185. The Avalanche of Colorado, Avalanche de Colorado, minus 175 in Minnesota. The Washington Capitals, the hunt for history continues for Ovechkin tonight. They're at Anaheim, and they are projected to do well at Anaheim.
You still need 8?
8 to tie, 9 to break it. Capitals minus 200 tonight in Anaheim. Montreal is at the Canucks. Canucks minus 150. The LA Kings minus 190 hosting the New York Islanders. And the Nashville Predators minus 170 at the lowly San Jose Sharks. Sharks stink, man. They're so bad. In collegiate basketball tonight, we'll start off with the first game of the day. And boy, is it a doozy. Cincinnati at Oklahoma State. Cincinnati laying 7.5 at Oklahoma State.
Cincinnati's been under the last 4 games, including against Oklahoma State.
138.5 is your total tonight.
So maybe first half unders?
Maybe so.
Play?
Typically, these conference tournaments, you see a lot more unders than overs anyway. That's the way I would certainly lean. In ACC action, you've got Pitt against Notre Dame. These are all neutral sites, of course. Pitt, a 4.5-point favorite now. It's bouncing around between 3.5 and 4.5, Pitt and Notre Dame.
Both these teams are shooting well, by the way, over the last couple of games, so maybe the over here.
I think Pitt is much better, from a talent standpoint, just much better than Notre Dame. I think they actually kind of blow them off the floor. Pitt's underperformed all year, but in this spot, like, Pitt was finished, they were picked to be like 3rd or 4th in the ACC, and they've just been a massive disappointment. Although you could say the same thing for Cincinnati in the Big 12. Remember, Cincinnati had high expectations coming into the season. They've come up way short. Maybe it's a good time to back them.
Well, the difference with Pitt's got a pro on that team. They got one dude that looks like he could go. I don't remember what his name. I think it might be Dunn. But anyway, I think that's the separation there, but I don't think.
One team that doesn't have a pro is Colorado. They're at TCU. Colorado plus, or at TCU again. It's a neutral game. Colorado and TCU. Colorado plus 2.5. Cal, Virginia Tech. Cal laying 3.5 against Virginia Tech. And Syracuse and Florida State. Florida State minus 3.5 in that one. Arizona State plus 6.5 against Kansas State. If you're into self-mutilation and you're going to sit and watch that game. You've got Central Florida plus 2.5 against Utah. Gonzaga minus 3.5 against St. Mary's in the WCC championship game. And McNeese, just to give you an idea of where McNeese sits in the pecking order in the Southland, McNeese is the 1 seed. They're taking on the 4 seed today. McNeese is minus 16.5 against Northwestern State.
They're so much better than everybody.
It's not even close. Not even close. So there you go.
Before we leave the McNeese, Will Wade is obviously a very good basketball coach and is underutilized at McNeese State. He's a high D1 level coach that got run out for other issues. But because of his previous sins, would you go? I mean, for guys like we laugh about Tech poaching Tech, but Will Wade would be a very good coach in an environment like Austin.
He would be.
I think he would be ideally suited, but he comes with baggage.
He does, and it's the kind of baggage that Texas usually goes out of their way to try to avoid. I wouldn't be mad at it. If Grant McCaslin said no, that's probably the next call I make, quite frankly. And I'm with you. Will Wade is a hell of a coach, a hell of a recruiter. And once you give him a bag to work with, man, you can get some things done.
The bag. Ask Nas Reed how nice it was to be at LSU.
Yeah.
he brought the bag there.
My goodness. So there you go. There's your look at the daily lines. Yeah, I'd throw a number out at him.
You ain't got to talk to him.
That does it for us.
We're almost halfway, man.
Oh, yeah. Feeling good.
Next time we have you here, you'll have a bag packed.
I will.
Jetting out of here.
And you'll have cats to take care of.
I've got cats here. I got cats here.
Galore.
I got cats everywhere.
You're now a cat person, Rob. All right. We'll be back tomorrow. Same bat time, same bat channel. Jason and Joe, they've got a little program called The Blitz. It comes up at 2 o'clock. It'll last till 6. You should enjoy it, or at least try your best to. Until then, keep on keeping on, baby.
You're listening to the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and